on this hot, muggy Saturday evening. We have a double treat if you're coming to the ballpark this evening. We have the Blues Brothers in their final appearance in Cedar Rapids. They'll be entertaining throughout the game, and then afterwards, a wonderful fireworks show sponsored by Bank of the West. Couple that with a first-place Kernel team and hot summer weather, and this is the place to be, Veterans Memorial Stadium. Meet us here for the first game of 4 against the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. The Kernels coming off a win, taking the rubber game over the Clinton Lumber Kings in the first leg of this 7-game homestand. The Kernels whipped the Lumber Kings 4-1 last night. It was Stephen Merrick's 10th win of the year, and he earned himself a promotion. Stephen, along with fellow All-Star starter Nick Adenhart, are up at the next level, Rancho Cucamonga. Our guests, we're visiting for the first time on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show with Kernel lefty reliever Mike Peet. And, Mike, you have an interesting background. You had the privilege of playing for one of the top 3 baseball schools in the best state for baseball, Florida. There's Miami, there's the Seminoles of Florida State, and you were a Florida Gator. How did that opportunity come your way, Mike?
I just had some good years in high school. I got recruited pretty heavily, and I talked to Lopez, Coach Lopez, who was the coach at that time, and agreed to sign a scholarship with him.
Mike, when you use the term recruited pretty heavily, explain what that means.
Well, you know that coaches can't talk to you till a certain point. So as soon as the date rolled around when coaches could start actually phone calling, calling you on the phone, I got quite a few calls. I had some offers from South Carolina, LSU, a bunch of SEC schools, Harvard, Duke, a bunch of places like that. So I just chose to go to Florida because, it's in the SEC, it's close to home, and, it's a good program.
Boy, you had some great offers there, Harvard and Duke. That doesn't mean you're just a good pitcher or baseball player. How well did you do academically in high school, Mike?
I was pretty close to the top of my class. I had pretty close to a 4.0 unweighted, over a 5 weighted, so I did pretty good in school.
Were you tempted to go to the Harvard of the South, Duke, or to Harvard itself because of the academic excellence? Was that a tough decision?
It wasn't too much of a tough decision because, I wanted to play baseball. So I figured that I'd get, they call Florida the Harvard of the South. So I figured I could get a good degree out of there and then also play some good quality baseball in the SEC.
Well, you got both. Now, Mike, how close are you, or do you have your degree?
Yeah, I graduated in this past December, so I got my degree in exercise physiology.
Oh, that means you can have a lot in common with Eric Munson, our trainer, and Andrew Emick, our strength and conditioning coach. You can discuss things or maybe say, hey, why do we do it this way or that way?
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it pretty nice just because, I know what they're talking about when they're talking to me. They don't have to dumb it down, for me to understand it. So, they can talk to me on a professional level about stuff, with my body and what's going on. So it makes it nice.
Exercise physiology is a fascinating field, Mike, because you do study why you train a certain way or what the body, for instance, I remember 25 years ago in grad school studying exercise physiology, and one of our professors just listed 18 or 20 benefits that come to the body physically from exercising, and that in and of itself, it makes you feel good about when you do exercise.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I mean, that's a lot of what the jobs are after you get that degree is pretty much trying to motivate people to work out and show them that you can get a lot of benefits out of, not much. I mean, it doesn't take much, 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, every other day. You're going to see marked improvements and things.
Mike Peet is with us, a lefty who has helped the Kernels out of the bullpen several times already, and Mike's told us about his studies at the University of Florida. And Mike, as far as using your degree in the off-season, would you like to be somebody who maybe teaches in the academics or maybe does practical application by serving as a personal trainer, or do you think you'll just pocket that degree and focus strictly on baseball in the off-season?
Definitely going to try to find a job somewhere. Probably try to work personal trainer or something like that, something that's not too binding, or give pitching lessons, something like that, just so I'm making a little extra pocket money on the side and keeping myself kind of near the sports field so I don't completely, get off track and that kind of stuff. So.
Mike, when I was growing up, there was a right-hander by the name of Mike Marshall that set an all-time record. He pitched in 109 games for either the Expos or Dodgers. He was a right-handed screwballer of all things, a relief pitcher. He applied kinesiology principles and exercise physiology to pitching. Can you imagine a guy ever approaching what he did pitching in 109 games in a season?
I have no idea how he did that. I mean, there's a lot of things to pitching. Pitching coach last year in Orem, Zeke, talked about pitching is like a ring. There's a certain thing. Everything has to work together for you to get the most out of your body. So if one part of that chain is broken, then mechanics can go haywire. You're going to lose velocity, stuff like that. So, and he was a big physiology, stuff like that. So, it made a lot of sense when he would talk to me and that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, and I know Keith Comstock, our roving pitching instructor for the Angels, probably applies some of the philosophies of Zeke Zimmerman and Orem. And the other day, Keith Comstock was talking to me about the importance of a pitcher in that ring you alluded to. Everything's got to be in sync, that a pitcher has to stay over or on top of the rubber. Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, I mean it's basically just staying tall. When you're coming to the set, coming up with your leg up, not drifting forward or leaking forward towards the plate. That's where a lot of velocity is generated, is that final, coming down and then out towards the plate. So if you leak it forward and get off the top of the mound, you're going to lose some of that.
I think we have the makings of either a teacher or a pitching coach. Mike Pete, young in his career, is our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. The Kernels on this warm, muggy Saturday evening are set to take on the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays in the first game of 4, coming off 2 out of 3 against Clinton. The Kernels are in first place in the Western Division second half standings. Good news in that front, and we'll finish things up with our guest lefty Mike Pete next here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show.
Second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Lefty Mike Pete is our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Mike, last night I kind of felt for the Clinton Lumber Kings. They left here having to go to Dayton. They lose an hour. Dayton's the farthest trip we have, about a 10-hour motor coach journey. You've been in pro ball long enough to know the pluses and minuses of the travel, the rigors of travel. Would you describe to our listeners what a bus trip is like in the minor leagues and what sorts of things, what is fun about it and what is kind of uncomfortable about it?
The main uncomfortable thing is probably the space. You're packing a lot of bodies onto a little bus, and finding spots to sleep and try to stretch out is pretty minimal. So that's probably one of the hardest things. Some of the good things are, we get to spend a lot of time together. In some cases that can be good, I guess. In some cases not. But so you get a lot of bonds. You get a lot of conversations going on. A bunch of crazy stuff that goes on the bus trip. So they're a lot of fun. I mean, I look forward to them sometimes. I mean, when they're 10+ hours, probably not. But the short 5-6 hour ones, those are just about plenty to see a good movie or a couple of good movies and have some good conversations. So.
Mike, speaking of movies, your generation, of course, was brought up on MTV and the Internet and Cablevision. Do you yourself have any favorite movies, whether they be action, comedy, baseball? And the reason I ask is it's always interesting to hear what younger gals and guys like. Do you have any favorites?
I don't really necessarily have favorites. I have some favorite people. Pretty much watch anything with Adam Sandler in it. A lot of people say that I look like him, especially when my hair's grown out. So, you know, you kind of like to see every movie that he's in just to see the different things that he explores when he has a movie.
Oh, yeah, he's a multi-talented guy. Finally, Mike Pete, we always like to hear about your family and how big it is, brothers and sisters, and where they're located.
My dad and brother live in Florida. My mother passed away when I was a junior in high school, so, I mean, that's pretty much all that. My grandmother lives in Ohio, and my aunt and uncles also live in Ohio, and I have an aunt and uncle that live in Georgia.
Do you ever get to visit your aunts, uncles, and grandparents in Ohio? What part are they from?
My grandmother's from Dalton, and my aunt and uncle are from Worcester. They're not too far apart, so it's nice when I get to go up there and visit because I get to see everyone at the same time. We have a lot of family that's up there. That's originally where I was from, so not too many people have migrated from there, so.
No, Worcester has a very great small college. Do you know of it?
I know a little bit of it. I mean, I've heard of it and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, the College of Worcester. Well, Mike Pete, I am glad we got together with you. We'll be sure to link up one more time a little bit later in this second half. You're a delightful young guy. You've given our bullpen a big lift as being the lone lefty out there.
I'm going to do what I can. So.
Well, Mike, as you get to know Cedar Rapids, I know you've already heard of one of the staples in the Colonel Clubhouse for great meals. Please accept this $5 gift certificate that you can redeem at any of our Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses. The best in pasta, homemade bread, pizza, spaghetti, you name it, Zio Giano's it's the pasta that makes the Colonel Clubhouse sing. Mike Pete, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
That's Colonel Lefty Mike Pete joining us for a visit on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Up next, starting lineup, series opener, Kernels and Southwest Michigan here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Tuna Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
It's a 90-degree Saturday evening and a big crowd here to see the Kernels continue their 7-game homestand. Leg number 2 commences as we host the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. Bank of the West will put on a fireworks show after tonight's contest, and the Blues Brothers will be entertaining throughout the ball game. Thanks for joining us here in the zone. Let's give you the starting lineups for tonight's contest. The Kernels and Devil Rays split 4 in Battle Creek, Michigan, way back in April. Skeeter Barnes played 9 years in the big leagues. He's the skipper of the visiting Devil Rays. Leading off for Southwest Michigan at second base, Jason St. Clair. Neil Walton will bat second and play shortstop for the Devil Rays. Hitting third is Cesar Suarez. Cesar Suarez will bat third and play third for Southwest Michigan. The cleanup batter for the Devil Rays is J.T. Hall. He's in right field. Garrett Gross will play center. Gross in center bats fifth. Spells his last name Groce. Ryan Hughes will be at first base. Ryan Hughes will hit sixth for Southwest Michigan. Christian Lopez catches and bats seventh. Hitting eighth is Colt Simmons, the designated hitter, and it's Chris Cunningham in left field batting ninth for Southwest Michigan. On the hill, a strapping 6'5", 220-pound, 20-year-old right-hander, third-round pick of the Tampa Bay Ball Club in 2004, Wade Davis. Davis is 1.5, lost 7, an ERA of 2.93. Wade Davis, a 6'5", 220-pound right-hander on the hill for Southwest Michigan. He beat the Kernels 4-2 back on April 24th at C.O. Brown Stadium in Battle Creek. He shut us out in 5 innings. Davis gave us 3 runs in 5 innings on no runs on 3 hits, fanned 7, walked 5. I'll have the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup for you in just a moment. Right now, let's join public address announcer Andy Pantini as he introduces our national anthem singer, Sue Sample.
Sue Sample in the singing of our national anthem with sign language by Paul Cernel.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so
Ovation for Sue Sample singing the Star-Spangled Banner. The members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team are trotting off the diamond. The Kernels are in their white home uniforms with red socks, navy blue caps with red bills, and let's set the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup for you this evening. Brought to you by Allen Motor Company, where they're celebrating their 103rd year in business in our community with the 103rd Birthday Bash Extravaganza. And that means savings and value at Allen Motor Company. Allen's, to celebrate their 103rd birthday bash, has an excellent array of pre-owned cars ranging from the 1998 Dodge Caravan under $5,000 and an 06 Cadillac Escalade with leather seats and sunroof for under $47,000. Savings and value at Allen's during their 103rd birthday bash sale. Leading off for the Kernels, switch-hitting shortstop, Heinle Sasha. Larry Infante's at second base, and he'll bat second. Hitting third in the Allen Motor Company order, Dallas Morris, the third baseman. Mark Trumbo has slugged 11 home runs, second on the team. He's at first base and batting cleanup. Hitting fifth, he has homered in the last 2 Kernel games on this homestand, DH Brett Martinez. Josh Davies, the 20-year-old Australian, will be in left field and hit sixth. Batting seventh, he leads the Kernels with 15 home runs, all-star right fielder Jordan Renz. Stantrell Smith will be in center field and hit eighth. And batting ninth and catching for only the second time this year out of Texas Tech, Madison Edwards. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, making his 9th start of the year, 21-year-old right-hander Andy Hill. Andy's from North Central Washington, and he's 6'4", 195. Andy Hill, 3-4 on the year, a 3.60 ERA. Andy Hill pitched Sunday in Grand Rapids, Michigan, a Kernel 11-8 loss to the Whitecaps. He went 4 innings, not involved in the decision, allowed 5 runs on 7 hits, struck out 1, walked 2. We're ready for baseball. Andy Hill wears his socks up high, his red socks. The visiting Devil Rays are in gray road uniforms with green hats, green batting helmets, green numbers, and their leadoff batter is Jason St. Clair, a 23-year-old right-handed batter, and he backs away from ball 1 high and inside. 90 degrees, our game time temperature, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. The right-handed batting Jason St. Clair plugs the 1-0 pitch foul into the screen. Jason's played in 17 games with the Devil Rays. He's batting .262, no homers, 2 RBIs. And Jason St. Clair was a high draft pick by Tampa Bay. He went in the 10th round in 2001. St. Clair now lifts a 1-1 pitch foul. It goes 2 rows up into the premier seats at the end of the Colonel first base dugout. The Kernels go with Josh Davies in left, Stantrell Smith in center. Stantrell is shaded way into right center for this right-handed hitter. And Jordan Renz in right. A murderous sun field for Renz in right and the right side of the Colonel infield. The 1-2 from Andy is a curveball, and it's ripped fair past the diving third baseman, Dallas Morris, into the left field corner. Josh Davies barehands it and hits the cutoff man Stacia at short, and it's a leadoff double for Jason St. Clair. It came on a 1-2 delivery. It was a curveball that Andy Hill left up out over the plate, and Jason St. Clair hammered it hard to the right of the diving third baseman, Dallas Morris, and the Devil Rays are off and running. Their record is 8-14. They're lodged in the cellar in the 6-team Eastern Division second half standings, 9 games out of first place. Southwest Michigan 8-14 in the second half. The Kernels lead the Western Division second half standings with a record of 13-9. Here's Neil Walton, right-handed hitting shortstop. He's built like a shortstop. He looks like a modern-day version of Marty Marion. Marty Marion was a great slick fielding shortstop for the Cardinals back in the 40s and 50s. And ball one is up and into Neil Walton. He's only hitting 179, an open stance, meaning his front foot is in the bucket. And Andy Hill, who has surrendered a leadoff double here in the top of the first inning, steps off the rubber. No score. First inning, and a bunt. Punted hard to Mark Trumbo. A very effective sacrifice by Neil Walton. Walton gave himself up as he bunted it hard. It paralleled the first baseline, and Mark Trumbo gloved it just about a step in front of the base, made the unassisted putout, and a sacrifice unassisted putout. And Neil Walton has done his job. He gets Jason St. Clair over to third with only 1 out. And here's Cesar Suarez. Cesar Suarez, the number 3 hitter for the Devil Rays, is batting .301 in 44 games. He bounces it to third. Dallas Morris looks the runner back to third and whistles his throw across the diamond for the second out of the inning. Big out, rung up by Andy Hill as he gets the .301 hitting Cesar Suarez to chop out to third. No choice for Jason St. Clair but to hold at third. And now it'll take a 2-out hit by J.T. Hall, who gave us fits in Battle Creek back in April. J.T. Hall is the batter for the Devil Rays. J.T. was 8 for 19 against us in April at C.O. Brown Stadium in Battle Creek. Hall's a left-handed batter with an open stance, and Andy Hill's fastball is upstairs, ball 1. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill has come aboard. She'll be giving us finals from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard and also tell us what the conditions are like out there this evening, with the 90-degree temperatures being the talk of eastern Iowa. It doesn't affect me much in the sense that I grew up near the St. Louis area, Alton, Illinois, and we have these kind of steamy summer days for 3 or 4 months. Ball 2 low to Hall, and now a swing and a miss on a fastball in on JT's hands. J.T. Hall, 22 years old, out of Southwest Mississippi Junior College. Hall hitting .289 with 7 homers, and he leads West Michigan with 47 runs driven in. He spanks one hard to second. Larry Infante has it, and his short throw to first retires J.T. Hall. How about Andy Hill? He gives up a leadoff double to Jason St. Clair. The Devil Rays bunt St. Clair to third, but Andy Hill then gets Cesar Suarez to chop out to third and retires J.T. Hall, the leading RBI man for the Devil Rays, on a ground ball out to second base. The Kernels have momentum as the Devil Rays squander a leadoff double in the first inning. No runs for Southwest Michigan, 1 hit, a leadoff double. there were no Kernel errors, and the Devil Rays had a runner at third with only one out, but stranded him at third. After one half inning, Southwest Michigan nothing, and the Kernels coming to bat. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Hindley Stacia is occupying the spot that Brad Kuhn has had most of the year. Brad shelved with a sore hamstring, and strike one in from the tall right-hander Wade Davis. Man, this guy is a load. 6'5", 230. And he misses outside with the fastball. Hindley Stacia batting .305, leads the Kernels in batting average, a homer, 27 RBIs, switch hitter batting left-handed. Fastball is cranked in upstairs for ball two. Anderson and Brown Eye Care sponsors our umpires. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is your full-service comprehensive eye care center, easy in, easy out, in their new building in Hiawatha. Ball four upstairs to Hindley Stacia. Stacia draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first inning. And that brings in the Kernel second baseman, left-handed batting, Larry Infante. Hindley Stacia with a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Dr. Tom Anderson, Dr. Todd Brown invite you to visit their new location, Anderson and Brown Eye Care. They'll examine your eyes, and then you can pick out your glasses and or contact lenses right in their beautiful showroom there, right off I-380 Boyson Road in Hiawatha. Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care, and they sponsor our umpires. Corey Hinga, a 6'6" arbiter behind home plate, and his partner on the base paths is Jason Alper, A-L-P-E-R. Those are our Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring crew. Ball one low to Larry Infante, left-handed swinging Kernel second baseman, and he sprays the next pitch foul off the hockey goalie-like mask of the Devil Ray catcher Christian Lopez. The outfield is swung way around to the left for Larry Infante. I mean, Chris Cunningham is playing only about 50 feet off the left field line, and the center fielder Garrett Gross is swung way around into left center for Larry. The 1-1 to Infante instead of throw to first, and diving back safely is Hindley Stacia. Hindley leads the Kernels in doubles with 25, and he drew a leadoff walk here in the first inning. Stacia 16 for 28 in stolen base attempts. The 1-1 to Infante from Davis. A double play ball to short. Neil Walton has it, throws to second, out. That's all the Devil Rays get. Larry Infante poked it to the left side. He didn't hit it hard enough to allow the Devil Rays to even attempt a double play. Walton, the lanky shortstop, went to his right and came in, gloved Larry Infante's low liner, and then tossed to Jason St. Clair for a 6-4 force out at second of Stacia. Larry Infante reaches on a fielder's choice ground out, and stepping in for the Kernels, is Dallas Morris. Dallas was 1 for 2 in the Kernel 4-1 win, a rubber game of a 3-game series against Clinton last night. Dallas had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. And then as he swings and misses strike one, Dallas singled up the middle, swiped second and third, and scored on a wild pitch in the fourth inning. That gave the Kernels a 3-0 lead. Dallas was 1 for 2 officially with that RBI and that run scored. He's hitting third in the Allen Motor Company order. Right-handed batter with a slightly open stance, Dallas Morris. A throw to first and diving back safely is Larry Infante. Dallas Morris is hitting .228. He has socked 6 homers and driven in 35 runs. This Devil Ray pitching staff ranks 8th in the 14-team Midwest League with a 3.59 team earned run average. Dallas Morris socks the next pitch foul. That one ricochets from the sweet level to our right and bounces into the Kernel first base dugout. 0-2 to Dallas Morris. This Devil Ray team plays in Battle Creek, Michigan, the world headquarters of Kellogg's, and they'll be leaving after this season for a new city in Michigan, Midland, Michigan. A curve, and Dallas Morris just got a piece of it.
has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming, already in progress.
ESPYs, hosted by me, Lance Armstrong.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, presented by GMC and Under Armour.
I can't believe I didn't get that promotion. What's wrong with me?
You've got sports video deficiency, Robbie.
Kenny, man.
You need ESPN 360, your daily dose of sports video with live games and exclusive content, even your favorite ESPN shows and personalities. And it's all at your control, Robbie. Together we can fight sports video deficiency.
Hurry. Log on now to ESPN360.com for the all-access preview through July 19th.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Mark Testashire. We begin with the latest from the Saturday in Major League Baseball. If the Cincinnati Reds are going to continue to contend in the NL Central race, their rebuilt bullpen will have to come through. Bronson Arroyo went 7 scoreless. Reds take a 1-0 lead over the Rockies to the 8th. Kent Mercker got the first out. Harry Majeski trying to get the last 2 in the top of the 8th. 1-0. Reds have the lead over the Rockies. In the 7th, Andy Pettitte and the Astros blowing away the Marlins 8-0. Pettitte himself an RBI single. He is working on a 5-hit shutout. He has struck out 9. In the 4th, Washington leading Pittsburgh 4-3. Earlier in Chicago, the Mets didn't get a hit off the Cubs' Carlos Zambrano until the 6th inning. They struck for 3 hits, 2 runs. Tom Glavine going after his 12th win. Hadn't allowed a run and had a 2-0 lead, but couldn't make it out of the bottom of the 6th.
And here's a ground ball pass right into left field. Coming in to score is Jones. Cubs lead 3-2. Nathan Perez delivers.
Pat Hughes, a little Ron Santo, WGN Chicago. Cubs score 5 in the 6th, 4 more in the 7th. Beat the Mets 9-2. Philly all over San Francisco, 14-6 the final. Pat Burrell 4 hits, 4 runs batted in. Ryan Howard hit his 30th home run. St. Louis edged the Dodgers 2-1 in 10. Coming up later, Brewers at Arizona and the NL West leading Padres home to Atlanta. In the American League top of the 14th. Mariners and Blue Jays all tied at 6. Toronto got 2 spectacular catches from their outfield in the 13th inning, and the Mariners left the bases loaded in that frame. Detroit now leads Kansas City 2-0 in the 4th behind Justin Verlander. Red Sox get 4 runs in the 3rd inning. David Ortiz with a 2-run triple behind Curt Schilling lead Oakland 5-0. In the 5th, Twins 3, Cleveland 1. Nick Punto with an RBI double, and he's replaced Torrey Hunter in center field. Hunter left after the 2nd because of a sore foot. Yankees beat the White Sox 14-3. New York's won 6 of 7. Orioles top Texas 8-1. Devil Rays and Angels later on tonight. Kobe Bryant, arthroscopic surgery on his knee, will not be able to participate with Team USA this summer at the World Championships. John Senden 3-shot lead at the John Deere. Lauren Roberts up 2 strokes at the Ford Senior Players Championship.
Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN Radio. The Mets head to Wrigley to take on the Cubs. We've got the call tomorrow at 5:35 Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio.
Welcome to Game Night on ESPN Radio, along with Steve Bune and John Seibel. Game Night on ESPN Radio, presented by Keystone Light. Word. Jerry Majewski's second outing with the Cincinnati Reds since the trade from the Washington Nationals. Very similar to his first. Last night he gave up a run. Tonight he gave up 2 runs, as just gave up a 2-run single, and Colorado now up 2-1 in the top of the 8th inning. And this hurts more because we talked about value and that teams are having to give up so much more for pitching this time around, as the Reds give up an all-star last year, Felipe Lopez, and Austin Kearns, along with Ryan Wagner, who they had a lot of hope in a couple years ago, for Jerry Majewski and 4 other guys. But this is certainly painful.
And that was a trade on paper. I remember, when that broke on ESPN News and we were talking about it, it seemed like it was definitely benefiting the Nats. Now, for you, as a lifelong Reds fan, what was your initial reaction when you? Great, we got rid of Austin Kearns.
That was fine because.
You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium. John Rogers reporting. Sorry about the inexplicable loss of transmission. No one's fault. No one knows. Some answers in life are inexplicable, but we thank the great folks back at the Zone for helping us out in the emergency. Thank you so much to our supporters in the Zone. We believe we're back on the air. They know to call us if we're not. We've been off the air apparently since 7:12. Since 7:12, so a 14-minute knockout punch through our transmission here. We're sorry about it, but we'll get you caught up as soon as possible. We're in the second inning, and the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays are batting. We'll review with you how the Kernels scored in the bottom of the first inning and lead this game 1-0. Right now, though, let's tell you that Southwest Michigan has a runner at second and a man aboard at first with one out, and Colt Simmons is at the plate for the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. Andy Hill's pitch is popped in the air to shallow center. Here comes Stantrell Smith. He dives and can't get it. He can't get it. And here comes a runner trying to score. The throw to the plate. Not in time. And the Devil Rays tie the game. Oh, the Devil Rays tie the game on a Texas League single just beyond the reach of the diving center fielder, Stantrell Smith. Colt Simmons dumps a single into center. Ryan Hughes, with great base running, was waved home by his skipper coaching at third, Skeeter Barnes. Christian Lopez, I know you don't know how any of these men got on because we were knocked off the air inexplicably, but we'll try to catch up. We do know this. The Devil Rays have tied the game 1-1 here in the top of the second inning. Andy Hill on the mound for the Kernels comes set, and he'll pitch to right-handed batting Chris Cunningham. 1-1 our score. Here's a shot over the head of Heinle Stacia into left, gloved by Josh Davies, the runner trying to score. He stops at third. The bases are loaded with only one out as the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays have now put 4 men in a row aboard against right-hander Andy Hill. Chris Cunningham, a .210 number 9 hitter, ripped a single into left over the head of the leaping shortstop Heinle Stacia, and the Devil Rays now have the bases loaded with one out, and Jason St. Clair comes to the plate. All right, sorry about the 14-minute inexplicable off-the-air problem, but let's tell you the Kernels scored in the bottom of the first inning, a one-out double by Dallas Morris, and a two-out double by Dallas Morris. Mark Trumbo walked, and then Brett Martinez grounded a base hit up the middle to score Dallas Morris. Trumbo went to second. Josh Davies, here's a shot in the left field corner. On the run, Davies. He dives and can't get it. One run is in. A second man is racing home. On to third goes the runner at first, Chris Cunningham. He's safe. And Southwest Michigan leads it 3-1 here in this second inning. Wow, the Devil Rays now have 5 men in a row that have reached against Andy Hill. Second double for Jason St. Clair. Jason St. Clair rips a double just beyond the reach of the diving left fielder Josh Davies. Davies made a valiant effort, dove for it, coming to his right, got a glove on it, it rolled past him, and 2-run score for Southwest Michigan. Christian Lopez scampered home from third, Colt Simmons raced home from second, Chris Cunningham sped from first to third on the big 2-run double by Jason St. Clair. All of this is happening by a team that's ranked last in the league in hitting. The Southwest Michigan Devil Rays are ranked last in the league with a .229 average, but they pounced on Colonel starter Andy Hill, single, hit batsman, single, 2-run double. It's second and third, still only one out, and let's see if the Kernels can get Neil Walton with the infield in. A breaking pitch high and in. Boy, this is really something to see Southwest Michigan pounce on the Kernels like this in our home ballpark. They're only hitting .229 as a team. They're hitting .212 on the road, but you'd never know it from this second inning. They have 3 hits and a hit batsman, and ball 1 is low to Neil Walton, who sacrificed Jason St. Clair from second to third in the first inning. Now a Neil Walton, a 179 batter, a right-handed hitter, swings late at a fastball and misses, strike one. Southwest Michigan leads this game 3-1 in the second inning. after the Kernels took a 1-0 lead on an RBI single by Brett Martinez in the first inning. Neil Walton still ahead on the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Takes low and away for ball 3. There was lots of action this afternoon in the big leagues, and Luvita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant, will have the finals from this afternoon and some of the partial scores from games that started late this afternoon. After this 3-1 pitch from the Colonel right-hander to Neil Walton. Walton has an open stance and fills the entire batter's box from the right side, and he whistles the 3-1 pitch foul straight back.
Thank you to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubert, and Brad Dunn for this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Lots of games completed earlier this afternoon in the American League at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees mauled the White Sox 14-3. At Camden Yards, the Orioles dismantled the Rangers 8-1. And
that's all right, Luvita. Here's the payoff pitch from Hill to Walton. High, a curve ball, and the bases are loaded now with 1 out. And Andy Hill has already had a visit, Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out. Southwest Michigan threatening to extend their lead with Cesar Suarez at the plate. Suarez bounced out first pitch swinging to Dallas Morris in the first inning, and we'll get back to those scores from this afternoon after the first pitch from Hill to Cesar Suarez, right-handed batter. Stands straight up at the plate and bounces one to second. Larry Infante has it go underneath his glove. 1 run is in. Here comes another man to score on an error by the Colonel's second baseman. 5-1 Southwest Michigan. E4, only the 5th error committed this season by Larry Infante. Here's what Larry was trying to do. He was trying to glove the bouncing ball and tag Neil Walton going from first to second. The only hitch in it is that the ball went underneath the glove of Larry Infante. And that allowed Chris Cunningham to score from third. It allows Jason St. Clair to score from second as the ball went into right field. Neil Walton went from first to third on the error at second by Larry Infante. So a tough second inning for the Kernels and Andy Hill. We still don't know what hit us. It hit us like a thunderstorm, a tornado. Boom, 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 boom. 5 runs already, and the Kernels trail 5-1. Here's J.T. Hall, the 9th man to bat in the Southwest Michigan 5-run second inning. There's still only 1 out. J.T. Hall wrapped out to second to end the Devil Ray first inning. Ball 1 outside. All right, Luvita, let's get back on that State Farm Insurance scoreboard trail.
4 games still taking place in the American League. At Rogers Center, the score is currently tied 6-6 in the top of the 13th inning, and that's Mariners and Blue Jays.
Top of the 13th. Boy, that's a marathon.
Yes, that is.
Swing and a miss by Hall. Strike 1 on JT.
At Comerica Park, the Tigers lead the Royals 2-0, and that's in the bottom of the 3rd. And at Fenway Park in the bottom of the 3rd, the Red Sox are ahead of the A's 5-0. And the Twins lead the Indians 3-1 at the Metrodome in the bottom of the 4th.
And we'll get to the National League after this pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike 2 on J.T. Hall.
There were 3 games completed earlier this afternoon in the National League, the first being the one at Busch Stadium. The Cardinals crept past the Dodgers 2-1. At Wrigley Field, the Mets bowed to the Cubs 9-2. And at SBC Park, the Phillies crushed the Giants 14-6.
Here's a throw to first by Andy Hill. Cesar Suarez gets back safely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Devil Ray batters have reached in a row.
There are 3 games still taking place in the National League. At Dolphin Stadium, the Astros are ahead of the Marlins 7-0.
Swing and a miss on a changeup down and in. Big strikeout for Andy Hill for the second out here in the Southwest Michigan 5-run second inning. That was a big strikeout of the cleanup batter, a left-handed hitting J.T. Hall, who leads the Devil Rays in RBIs. Now, the man who started this inning by flying out to center, Garrett Gross, will bat for the second time. With runners at the corners and 2 away, Andy Hill works from the stretch, comes set at the letters, and delivers. Upstairs, a fastball, ball 1.
That game is at Dolphin Stadium is in the top of the 7th. At Great American Ballpark, the Rockies trail the Reds 1-0, and that's in the bottom of the 7th. And at PNC Park, the Nationals lead the Pirates 4-3 in the bottom of the 3rd.
A tap back to the mound on a check swing. Andy Hill gloves it and throws the batter out to end the inning. Well, all things considered, the Kernels come away from this nasty second inning still very much in the game. 10 men bat for the Devil Rays. They score 5 runs on 4 hits, a walk, a hit batter, 1 Kernel error. Southwest Michigan leaves a pair. They've stranded 3. Kernels are still very much in this game as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Devil Rays 5, Kernels 1.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
more of what you're looking for. Just goes hell.
We have a rousing welcome to the Blues Brothers. It's a big crowd here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and I'm going to have Levita Hill describe what the Blues Brothers look like and what their first routine is.
The Blues Brothers look like the ones from the movies, wearing those black suits with white shirts, the black tie, and the white socks that you can see to go along with their black shoes and their black hats.
And Levita, how did they make their way onto the playing field?
Well, they drove that famous police car that they drive in the movies with the bullhorn strapped to the top of it.
And they're doing a routine in front of a couple of microphones. They've dismantled the microphones from their stands. And, brother, this crowd is already into the Blues Brothers, Levita.
I can tell. Well, they're so popular. Everyone just loves the Blues Brothers.
Now, you have an interesting story.
That's right. In the first movie that the Blues Brothers made, that mall that they drive their car through, Dixie Square Mall, that's actually located in Harvey, Illinois, and that is my hometown. And across the street from that mall is my great-grandmother's house.
So the original Blues Brothers movie was filmed, part of it, a famous scene, was it?
Yes, it was. It was the scene when they drive through the mall.
Oh.
And they just dismantle the mall because they drive through it.
That mall is near your grandmother's house?
It's near it's across the street from my great-grandmother's house. I can just walk there. It's right across the street, John.
And what's the name of it?
It used to be called Dixie Square Mall.
Dixon Square? Dixie Square Mall.
That's right.
Now, I want you to describe what's happening now, Levita.
Well, one of the Blues Brothers is in the car pulling off.
Okay, the other's going to have to walk. Wait a minute. Take it away, Levita.
Oh, the other one just tossed the ball, I believe, to the crowd, and he just hopped through the window of the passenger side of the car.
Head first.
That's right, because his partner was leaving him.
My goodness, are the Blues Brothers popular in that old beat-up black and white police car? Well, let's see if the Kernels can regain some ground. They took the lead in the first inning on a 2-out RBI single by Brett Martinez, only to see 10 Devil Rays come to bat in the second inning. Southwest Michigan struck for 5 runs, and they lead it 5-1. Ball 1 inside to Jordan Renz. Boy, this hot, humid weather hasn't kept anyone away from the ballpark tonight.
No, it hasn't. We have a large crowd here.
Big crowd. Let's start with the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion as Renz takes inside ball 2. Jordan's hitting .225. Leads the club with 15 homers. And he bounces one to deep third. Foul ball. Backhanded by Cesar Suarez. Foul ball. Strike 1 to Jordan.
We have a very famous hospital here with us tonight, John. St. Luke's.
Yes, and we'll be having sunny Dr. Sonny Kim join us from St. Luke's Spine Center in the 4th inning. That'll be a lot of fun to hear about that part of St. Luke's. A drive hooking foul into the left field Devil Ray bullpen. Strike 2 on Jordan Renz.
Along with St. Luke's, we have Cummins, Central Power, and we have a Terry Whitney party.
Boy, that 4-tiered deck out in left field is teeming with folks that are enjoying this warm and sunny Saturday night. The 2-2 to Renz. Swing and a miss. Jordan down on strikes on a fastball from Wade Davis. One away here in the Kernels' second. We're down by 4, 5-1. And now here comes Stantrell Smith. Stantrell Smith is in center field this evening. Stantrell batting .193. No homers, 10 RBIs. Stantrell is trying to break out of a... He's been struggling a little bit with the bat. Perhaps tonight's the night he'll break out of it. Right-handed batter, Stantrell Smith. The first pitch is a breaking ball in for a strike from 6'5", 230-pound right-hander Wade Davis. Beautiful night here despite the heat. Stantrell is hit by a pitch. It hit him in the left arm, and Stantrell is on his way to first base, having been hit by a pitch. That hit batter, the 6th in 19 starts, counting tonight, by Wade Davis. He strikes Stantrell Smith on an 0-1 pitch. And 1 on, 1 out for the Kernels here in the second inning. The batter is Madison Edwards. The Kernels scored 1 run in the first inning on 2 hits, 2 walks, no Devil Ray errors, and we left 2 men aboard. Madison Edwards, left-handed batter, catching tonight for the Kernels. Chops one to first. The only play will be Ryan Hughes fumbling. Everybody's safe. An error on the first baseman, Ryan Hughes. He mishandled a bouncer that had all sorts of spin on it to shallow first. Ryan Hughes. Well, now they've credited Madison Edwards with the base hit. Hughes was ready to field it, and I'm surprised they've credited Madison Edwards with the hit, but they have. An infield single for Madison Edwards. Ryan Hughes missed that tapper. I don't know if it had a lot of spin on it or whether it took a bad hop. It looked like a play that Ryan Hughes could have made. Not an easy play by any means. So certainly Madison Edwards glad to have that rule the base hit. It's first and second, 1 out, and Heinle Statius at the plate. Heinle walked in the first. There's a line shot into right, a base hit. Stantrell Smith will be waved home. He'll score easily. The throw to the plate cut off. On to third goes Madison Edwards. RBI single by Heinle Statius cuts the Devil Ray lead to 5-2 here in the second inning. Didn't take Heinle Statius long to crank an RBI single into right. First pitch swinging, he drives home Stantrell Smith. Madison Edwards went to third. A poor choice by J.T. Hall to throw home. He should have thrown to third. And Stantrell Smith scores to make it a 5-2 lead for Southwest Michigan here in the second inning. You just knew the Kernels weren't out of this game despite the deflating top of this second inning in which we relinquished a 1-0 lead, in which the Devil Rays sent 10 men to the plate and scored 5 runs. The Kernels have come back with a run here in the second, and with 1 out, have runners at the corners. Larry Infante takes the first pitch low from right-hander Wade Davis. The 1-0 to Larry, who cocks his hands high above his back ear. It's downstairs, ball 2. Well, Levita, who's up on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, they have some measure of shade.
That's right. We have the Mud Murray party, and we have Gentle Dental.
Oh, those great folks from Gentle Dental booked their group outing, Levita, with me way back in January. And it wasn't 90 degrees that day. I remember it was about 10 degrees.
Oh, wow. Which would you prefer?
Well, I prefer tonight, and I think Gentle Dental does too. Gentle Dental and the Mud Murray party on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. The 2-0 pitch to Larry Infante with runners at the corners. A pop foul over the grandstand roof to our left. And Larry steps out of the batter's box. Infante, a .232 hitter, has clubbed 3 homers, driven in 23 runs. Larry reached on a fielder's choice and was thrown out at the plate on a Dallas Morris double back in the first inning. Stacia at first, Madison Edwards at third. No, other way, Edwards at third, Stacia at first. Curve and a swing and a miss. Oh, brother. Sharp breaking pitch from Wade Davis. Larry Infante waited, timed his swing well, but just couldn't put the bat on the ball. It's now 2-2 to the Kernels' second baseman. 5-2 Southwest Michigan, and we're in the bottom of the second inning. Larry waits as the Devil Ray right-hander steps off the rubber towards third, looks Madison Edwards back to that base, and then Davis took a look over to first where Heinle Stacia is being held by Ryan Hughes. Infante's a very good 2-strike hitter. Fastball inside, throw to first in the dirt, blocked by Ryan Hughes to prevent a wild throw by Christian Lopez. Stacia got back easily. Luvita, I want you to describe what 90% of the fans are using to keep themselves cool this evening.
They are using fans to fan themselves.
And I'll have you take a closer look at those fans, and you can let our listeners know after this next pitch, the 3-2 pitch to Larry Infante. The runner goes, Stacia, a bouncer to second. Madison Edwards scores as the second baseman, Jason St. Clair, tosses out Larry Infante. It's a 5-3 game, a brand new game, as Larry Infante topped a payoff pitch to second. Jason St. Clair charged it, and as Madison Edwards streaked across the dish for the second run of the inning, Heinle Stacia went to second. He was running on the play. Here's a 2-out RBI chance for Dallas Morris, who doubled and scored in the Kernel first inning. Well, Luvita, by now you've been able to see who has provided those fans.
That's right, the same people who are sponsoring our fireworks tonight, Bank of the West.
What a great idea by Bank of the West, Luvita. They couldn't have picked a more towering pop-up to second should end the inning. Jason St. Clair, one step back on the grass in shallow right. The second baseman hauls it in. Dallas Morris has popped to second to end the Kernel second inning. But the Kernels are right back in the game. They score 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Southwest Michigan errors. The Kernels leave 1 man aboard and have stranded 3. Lots of action early on here on Bank of the West Fireworks Blues Brothers night as we go to the top of the third. The Devil Rays lead the Kernels 5-3.
Remember just a few years back when experts predicted that the wonders of the computer, internet, and email would result in a paperless society? Well, if your household or office is anything like mine, you're probably wondering when that paperless society is coming. Amazing but true, nearly 40% of all paper ends up in the wrong place, our landfills. So the next time you catch yourself about to throw paper away in your garbage, pause for just a second, and instead put it in your blue recycling box. A paperless society? Not yet. But a smarter society? Yes. When we choose reuse by recycling.
Summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center has the finest quality flowers and plants for indoors and outdoors. Plus all the expert advice you'll need to make your flowers and plants grow their best. Whether a single flower or an arrangement, a single houseplant or a yard of landscaping, Peck does it all. Family owned and serving eastern Iowa since 1956, Peck offers their customers the best plants and flowers available. Peck is your professional and award-winning FTG IntelliFlora florist. Certified in year-round garden center, nursery and landscape center, and plant and flower headquarters. Stop in often for Peck's fresh flowers and feature fresh-cut stem roses, just $11.99 per dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, nursery and landscaping, at the corner of Blairsbury and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, it's ironic. We were just talking about the perfect night for the Bank of the West, not only to sponsor fireworks, but to give out 1,500 fans that are being used. And we asked Brian Kubik from Bank of the West to drop by here in the third inning, and if you could help welcome Brian to your spot.
Well, come on down and join us.
Thank you so much, Luvita. Brian Kubik from Bank of the West will talk to us about the fabulous turnout here tonight on Bank of the West Fireworks Night. Ryan Hughes got the 5-run inning started for the Devil Rays against right-hander Andy Hill, and he takes a strike called. Hughes, a left-handed batter, a .239 hitter with a homer and 27 driven in, takes strike one from the Colonel right-hander. Now a changeup that dips below the swinging barrel of the bat of Ryan Hughes. And it's strike two. 5-3, Southwest Michigan. Brian Kubik is here. He's the manager of the Marion Bank of the West location. And, Brian, I'll tell you what, you and Dale Kretschmar, the president, strike three called. Andy Hill records his second strikeout of the night, getting left-handed hitting Ryan Hughes on 3 pitches. Dale Kretschmer from downtown's Bank of the West, Brian, and you and I and Luvita were very impressed with the big crowd tonight, Brian.
Oh, John, it's a great night, and it's amazing the amount of people that came out tonight. And we perfect night to give out these 1,500 fans, with being 95 degrees. So it's been a great night.
A breaking pitch down and away. Brian, you're a young, energetic, positive, upbeat banker. How long have you been with Bank of the West, even before they came into this market?
John, I've been with Bank of the West for just a little bit over 2 years now, and it's just been a great experience and a great bank to work for. And obviously all of our managers say the same thing. It's a great bank to work for.
It is. You guys have stability there. I know Tracy Moyle, I know Dale Kretschmer, and the person that really represents your bank the best in my eyes is Michelle Tigas.
Oh, no question about it. Michelle's been with us for a number of years, and just the kind of the backbone of our region, more or less.
She is such a pleasant, welcoming person. She's always upbeat and positive too, and you know that's contagious in any organization.
No question. I mean, Michelle is just been, she's always there for whatever we need, and
yes.
She's always there for these kind of events as well, and make sure we have everything we need. So she really does do a great job for us.
Yes, Michelle is super gal. A 1-2 pitch to Christian Lopez, and he drops a single in front of Stantrell Smith for the Devil Rays. Christian Lopez was hit by a pitch and scored in West Michigan's 5-run second. Devil Rays have now 6 hits off the Colonel right-hander, Andy Hill. Brian Kubik is here with us from Bank of the West, and boy, I'll tell you, those fans, wouldn't you like to have all the power generated by those flicking wrists, Brian?
No question. These fans are really a perfect night for them, and we're swell.
The runner goes, a bounce to the short, Stacia calls it, steps on second, Heinley throws to first, an acrobatic, spectacular double play turned in by Heinley Stacia to end the Devil Rays' 3rd inning. With Christian Lopez running, Colt Simmons grounded a 2-hopper towards the base at second. Heinley Stacia cut to his left, fielded it with his glove hand, took 3 steps, stepped on second to force the runner Lopez, who was off on the pitch, and then Heinley whipped his throw to Mark Trumbo for an acrobatic, athletic 6-3 double play. No runs for Southwest Michigan in the 3rd. 1 hit, a double play. There were no Colonel errors, and the Devil Rays leave the bases empty. We'll continue with Brian Kubik from Bank of the West when the Colonels come to bat in the home half of the 3rd before this boisterous, big crowd on Bank of the West Blues Brothers night. After 2.5, Southwest Michigan 5, and the Colonels 3.
Pepsi Flash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when you call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmooths.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
The Blues Brothers doing an entertaining, interactive comedy bit on top of the double-ray third base dugout. I think one of the... Brian, I don't know the difference between... Well, what are the Blues Brothers' names again? Jake and Elwood?
You have to help me out with that, John.
Okay, I can't ever remember if the tall guy is Jake or the smaller guy is. But they're having some fun entertaining the fans right behind the third base double-ray dugout. We go to the bottom of the third inning. A spectacular double play turned in by all-star shortstop Heinley Stacia to end the double-ray third. For the Kernels in the third, it'll be Trumbo, Martinez, Josh Davies to face right-hander Wade Davis. And Trumbo tomahawks a ground ball to second. Jason St. Clair throws to the home plate side of first, and Mark Trumbo tagged out by Ryan Hughes. Boy, Jason St. Clair almost unleashed a wild throw. Mark Trumbo, first pitch swinging, is wrapped out to second. The peg by St. Clair pulled Ryan Hughes off the bag, and Hughes had to come towards Mark Trumbo, hustling down the line, and tag Mark out. One away on one pitch here in the Colonel third. Brian Kubik is our guest from Bank of the West. They're sponsoring their second fireworks extravaganza this evening. And Brian, in less than a month, another very important, uplifting event that your Bank of the West sponsors is coming up, and I'd like you to tell our listeners about it after this 0-1 pitch to Brett Martinez. Curve just outside, ball one.
We're so excited, John. On August 11th, we're sponsoring Sydney's Night Under the Stars. It's Sydney's benefit for MDA, and it's a great benefit to fight muscular dystrophy. And there's going to be a silent auction and a dinner, and as well as a live band there. And stop in any Bank of the West and see how we can go ahead and take advantage of that. It's going to be a great night, and I believe this is the 5th year they've had this, and so we're really excited about that.
Brett Martinez, who drove in a run with a ground ball base hit in the first, has fouled one back, and now Wade Davis blisters a fastball by the Colonel DH, and that's the third strikeout for Wade Davis, and he's retired 4 in a row. Nobody on, 2 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Colonels down by a pair, 5-3. Have 4 hits. The Devil Rays already have 6. Josh Davies took strike 3 looking to end the Colonel first inning. Josh is hitting .217, 2 homers, 13 RBIs. Davies, a late swing and a miss. Josh Davies is now playing in his 16th game for the Colonels. Brian, you mentioned that listeners can stop by any Bank of the West locations, and they can do that to buy tickets for the event on August 11th?
That's correct. They can stop by any Bank of the West location and get their tickets for the event. And like I said, it's really going to be a great night, and the silent auction items are great. Just the cause is great.
Yes,
and we're so proud to be a part of it.
And you should be. Here's a foul off to the right by Josh Davies. Davies in the hole, 1-2. Brian Kubik from Bank of the West is with us. Brian, the name of the event again, the date and the location.
August 11th, it's the MDA benefit, Sydney's Night Under the Stars MDA Gala. So it's going to be a great event, and we look forward to seeing everybody out there.
Well, Brian, we'd like to thank you for coming by. Now, you level with us. We have a guest from St. Luke's due in a few minutes, but would you like to stay another half inning? You're welcome to.
John, I'm more than happy to do that.
Let's do that.
Alrighty.
Let's stay another half inning, and then we'll welcome in Dr. Sonny Kim of St. Luke's Hospital. Swing and a miss by Josh Davies. The Colonels go in order in the bottom of the third inning. This game breezing right along. Big crowd on hand, and as we go to the fourth inning, it's Southwest Michigan 5 and the Colonels 3.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. This ball game goes to the fourth inning already, and it's 5-3 in favor of the visiting Devil Rays. Swatting the first pitch foul off to the right is Devil Ray number 9 hitter Chris Cunningham. Chris Cunningham singled and scored in the Devil Ray 5-run second inning. 5-3 our score in the top of the fourth inning. Andy Hill thrusts his arms above his head, a full windup, and he brings in a dandy Uncle Charlie, a strike called, and it's suddenly 0-2 to Chris Cunningham. Brian Kubik is with us. He's from Bank of the West, and they're sponsoring our fireworks tonight. Ground ball to third, hit sharply. Dallas Morris gloves, and a strong arm throw across the diamond gets Chris Cunningham one away here in the Devil Ray fourth inning. Brian Kubik, we are so grateful to you and Bank of the West. I'll tell you what, that brown or golden bear that symbolizes freedom and confidence and trust is a fixture now in our community. It's a beautiful logo, isn't it, Brian?
We love the bear, John. And the bear, you're right, symbolizes everything that we are and freedom and everything else that goes along with it. And the bear is a great logo, and you'd be surprised, John, how many people just want to come into our office to get a bear from us. It's amazing.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Here's a bouncer to short on 3 hops. Heinley Stacia unloads to first and retires Jason St. Clair, who doubled in the first inning, then drilled a 2-run double in the 5-run second, has grounded out to short, and there are now 2 gone here in the top of the fourth inning. We had the bear itself here, and I'm sure Dale Kretschmer, you and Michelle Tigas and all the rest of the crew, Tracy Moyle at Bank of the West, remember what it was the most popular mascot we've ever had here. To compliment Mr. Shucks last month, Brian, he was very popular.
It was amazing. The kids just went crazy over the bear, and it's such a lovable mascot that the kids just loved it, and we were happy to bring it out. So it was great.
We were happy to have the bear, and we're happy to have your fans and the fireworks tonight. Here's an 0-1 pitch butted hard and foul by Neil Walton. Neil has sacrificed and walked tonight. Brian Kubik from Bank of the West is with us. In the bottom of the fourth inning, Dr. Sonny Kim from the St. Luke's Spine Center will be joining us. It's St. Luke's night here at the ballpark. They have over 2,000 employees and their families here this evening. Andy Hill's 0-2 fastball just outside. It sure is, Brian. It's wonderful that St. Luke's has brought so many of their employees and their families here to the ballpark tonight.
And that's what it's all about. The community supporters, that's what it's all about out here, so that's great.
Well, thank you. Ball 2, a change up in the dirt. 2 away, nobody on, as Southwest Michigan bats here in the top of the fourth inning already. Just a little bit past the top of the hour, you're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600. KCRG! A half swing and a miss by Neil Walton. He strikes out, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Andy Hill. Andy sets the Devil Ray side down in order for the first time tonight. Brian Kubik, I trust that you and your friends will have a great time this evening. Thank you for your tremendous support of wholesome, affordable family entertainment from Bank of the West.
John, thank you. John, thank you as well. Happy to be here, and we appreciate your support as well for Bank of the West.
Brian Kubik, thank you. Brian Kubik from Bank of the West, our guest. His company sponsoring the second of their fireworks shows here at the ballpark. After 3.5, the Devil Rays still lead the Kernels 5-3. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. And for a limited time, everything in stock has been reduced by 20%. That's right, 20% off all shrubs, plants, and trees like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality, and for a limited time, 20% off all in-stock trees, shrubs, and plants. See the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
The Blues Brothers are putting on some show on St. Luke's night here at the ballpark, Bank of the West night. Yes, Dr. Sonny Kim of St. Luke's Spine Center, that Blues Brothers music will get anybody ready to move around and dance and have a great time. Dr. Kim, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be out here. It's the first time being in a press box like this. I'm pretty excited.
Good. I'm glad you are, Dr. Kim. And Dr. Sonny Kim, you're representing St. Luke's in I'm assuming a fairly thriving and important part of the hospital, and that is the Spine Center. We'd like you to tell us a little bit about the Spine Center, Dr. Kim, at St. Luke's.
That's right. The Spine Center is a relatively new program where anyone can go for back pain treatment. It pretty much encompasses a very coordinated approach to back pain care involving multiple specialties, including physiatrists or specialists in physical medicine rehabilitation, orthopedic spine surgeons, interventional pain services, occupational medicine, physical therapy, in a very coordinated way.
Wow. And there's a strike to Jordan Rhyne. Now a knee-buckling curve is low to the Colonel number 7 hitter who struck out swinging his first time up. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning on St. Luke's Bank of the West Blues Brothers night. It's 5-3 Southwest Michigan, and a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Wade Davis is low and in. The fact that you just said a coordinated team approach, Dr. Kim, will bring so much reassurance and trust about the St. Luke's Spine Center. Here's a high drive into center, way back, on the track, at the wall. It's caught by Garrett Gross. Ooh, Jordan Rhyne gave it a ride, 407 feet away, into deep, deep center, and it was caught by Garrett Gross, one away here in the Colonel 4th inning, and that is now 6 straight retired by Wade Davis. If Rhyne had pulled it just a smidgen, he'd have been circling the bases with his 16th round tripper of the year, but it was caught by Garrett Gross. Dr. Kim, the back is such a mysterious, I don't want to call it an organ, it's a mysterious part of our body, and when things go haywire in the back, the potential patient needs to trust the care they're going to be given.
That's right. I tell you, the back is a black box, just as they say.
A bouncer to third by Stantrell Smith. It's caught on one hop by Cesar Suarez, who throws out Stantrell. And there's 2 away here in the Colonel 4th inning. By black box, Dr. Kim, what does that mean? Mystery or
Well, there are multiple sources of pain in the back.
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
And finding that source of pain is one of the first things that a patient would experience at the Spine Center at St. Luke's.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's not just one thing.
That's right. Dr. Kim, is your specialty in orthopedic, or is it, what is your area of training in?
Well, I'm a specialist in physical medicine rehabilitation.
A broken background at first. Madison Edwards is retired on an unassisted put-out by Ryan Hughes. We'll keep Dr. Kim right here with us. We'll forego our normal break. We have that latitude during our broadcast to do that. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Wade Davis as he retires the Kernels in order. Dr. Kim, if we could back up again and let our listeners know what your area of training and expertise is in at the St. Luke's Spine Center.
Sure. A physical medicine rehabilitation physician or a physiatrist is a specialist who does conservative musculoskeletal medical care, as well as rehabilitating people after catastrophic injuries such as traumatic brain injury, motor vehicle accidents, spinal cord injury, strokes. And in the Spine Center, we have two other physiatrists who also work with patients with back pain, doing a comprehensive evaluation of the musculoskeletal system, and treating them conservatively and directing their care as needed. Some of these patients will do well with physical therapies. Others need some interventional pain injections. Other people need surgery. And the important thing is knowing when to do what interventions properly.
You said it, Dr. Kim. We all know someone, if not ourselves, who has had a back problem. We all do. My brother in Alaska is a national park ranger. He had to go through that whole process, and he said, John, it's not easy to decide of those 3 or 4 options you gave, which would be physical therapy, pain medication, or possibly surgery. He had to opt for surgery as almost a last resort. And it was thankfully turned out to be very successful. He had his surgery in Anchorage, Alaska. But the key is the word you use, conservative diagnosis and treatment.
That's right. You know, in this day and age, everyone is so focused on the back as being disc. It's not all about the disc. There are muscles, tendons, ligaments in the back. There are facets joints. There's the sacroiliac joint, which is most commonly misdiagnosed. There are bursae that get inflamed. There's a lot of different sources for back pain.
Boy, Dr. Kim, you talk with such passion about treating patients with these back ailments and pain. Where did you go to school?
I went to University of Medicine Dentistry of New Jersey. I trained at the Kessler Institute for Rehabilitation. I did my internship at Johns Hopkins University, and now I'm out here to service the needs of Iowa.
Wow, Dr. Kim, Johns Hopkins. That's the #1 ranked medical school in the country. I read U.S. World News and Report, and they are ranked #1. A line shot on a 1-0 pitch into center off the bat of Cesar Suarez, and gliding over a couple of steps to make the catch is Santrell Smith. One away here in the 5th inning, and Andy Hill is now retired 5 in a row. Johns Hopkins is in Baltimore. It's a beautiful campus. Dr. Kim, you must have done very good work in New Jersey to be accepted into medical school at Johns Hopkins.
Well, I actually did my medical school at New Jersey Medical School.
Yes.
But a good part of my training in internal medicine was at Johns Hopkins.
Well, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, I know as ball 1 is low, the left-handed hitting cleanup batter J.T. Hall, he's 0 for 2. The 1-0 from Andy Hill is a change-up high and away. 2-0 to J.T. Hall. He's batting .289. Leads the Devil Rays with 7 homers and 47 RBIs. Batting from an open stance, meaning his front foot is in the bucket. The lights have just been turned on here on St. Luke's, Bank of the West Blues Brothers night, and ball 3 from Andy Hill. I know a lot of folks are wondering, how did our community, which we're so proud of, the 2nd largest city in Iowa, ball 4 just low, and a 1-out walk from Andy Hill puts J.T. Hall aboard. Devil Rays lead it by 2, 5-3 here in the top of the 5th inning. What drew you and your family here to Eastern Iowa, Dr. Kim?
Well, I think there's an excellent opportunity to service the needs of the community out here. The latest statistics in Iowa is that it's relatively underserved.
I would guess that. Yes, I would think that. Now, did St. Luke's court you or recruit you or woo you, or how did you come here?
Well, yeah, St. Luke's, they helped me get here, and they showed me around. I like what it had to offer.
Good. Did they include in their tour perhaps showing you this wonderful ballpark?
Actually, no, but I'm very excited to be here. It's very, very nice.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's very nice.
A swing and a miss by Garrett Gross, Groce. Garrett's a right-handed batter who is nothing for two so far tonight. A throw to first, and J.T. Hall, who has stolen 3 bases but been caught 12 times, dives back in safely. Your wife is named Yoon, Y-U-N.
Yes.
Here's a drive into the Papa John's Plaza. The aluminum back bleachers down the right field line. And ironically enough, your wife, Yoon, works at an outstanding new sponsor of Colonel Baseball here at the ballpark, Lindale Dental Care. I am good friends with Tim Westerkamp, the office manager. And how long has your wife been practicing dentistry at Lindale Dental Care?
Wow, that's exciting. Well, you know, my wife, she joined me in around October, and so she's been there since then.
In October, Garrett Gross grounds one to third, and Dallas Morris has it, starts an around the horn, inning-ending double play. It went 5-4-3, Gross to Infante, Larry to Trumbo, and the Kernels turn their second inning-ending double play of the evening. No runs in the fifth for Southwest Michigan, a walk. There were no hits. The Kernels turned an around the horn twin killing to end the inning. No Colonel errors, and the the Devil Rays leave the bases empty. The Kernels will bat in the bottom of the fifth, trailing the Southwest Michigan Ball Club 5-3.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butter Burgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Kernels Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 22nd. They will receive the autographs of Kernels players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper, it's a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
With Dr. Sonny Kim from the St. Luke Spine Center, we're witnessing fun and exuberant excitement like we haven't seen most of the season, and we've had a great season here. Marco Albano has helped the Blues Brothers. Colonel infielder, outfielder Marco Albano joined the Blues Brothers in front of the Colonel dugout, and they did a hip-hopping, energetic dance that has this crowd absolutely enthralled and captivated. Dr. Sonny Kim, were you aware of the Blues Brothers from either New Jersey? Had you known about them?
Well, only from the television,
yes,
of course.
Yes.
But yeah, they're definitely a fun group.
They sure are. Dr. Sonny Kim is here. His wife, Yoon, who is a dentist at Lindale Dental Care, is with us as well, and we'll also have Dr. Kim tell us about, here's a high pop foul off to the left. Dr. Kim, your sister is here too.
Yeah, my sister Susan, she just flew in today.
She's from New Jersey.
That's right.
And we've got good news about where she's going to study undergraduate. A swing and a foul off to the left by Heinle Stacia. Now a pitch in tight to Heinle. He spins out of the way. Susan just graduated from high school in New Jersey, and she'll be coming to school where?
The University of Iowa.
Boy, that'll be nice to have an older brother right in eastern Iowa. Do you know what she's interested in studying?
Psychology.
Wow. We could put her to use in baseball. Half the game is mental, as Yogi Berra used to say. 50% of this game is mental. The other half is mental.
That's right.
3-1 to Heinle Stacia. Heinle has walked and driven in a run. Stacia serving as the Colonel leadoff batter, with Brad Kuhn shelved with a bad hamstring. Walks! Heinle Stacia reaches base for the third time in a row with a leadoff walk here in the fifth inning. Well, Dr. Kim, I know we've just skimmed the surface about St. Luke's Spine Center, but you've given such a simple and easy to understand explanation. Let's say somebody has a back problem. Let's just put it that way. They have pain in their back. Should their first step be to call St. Luke's Spine Center or to log on to a website that you have?
Well, yes, they can certainly call St. Luke's Spine Center at 369-7333 for additional information.
Okay, that's a start. And then my guess is that should they be referred to the Spine Center by their family or primary care physician, or can they book an appointment based on their symptoms on the phone?
We certainly do accept direct referrals. It's always encouraged to have a family physician involved. The reason being is we work very closely with the primary care physician.
That's what I thought. With the runner going, Larry Infante knocks a line drive foul out of play down the left field line. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning on St. Luke's Bank of the West Blues Brothers night here at the ballpark. And the Kernels trail by a pair, 5-3, but they have Heinle Stacia at first with nobody out, and Larry Infante waiting patiently for the big 6'5" right-hander's 0-1 delivery. Here it is. Outside, a fastball. 5-3, Southwest Michigan here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Dr. Kim, I'm sure St. Luke's Spine Center has all the latest technology that has become such a big part of medicine.
Oh, yes. There's a lot more minimally invasive procedures going on in the orthopedic spine world, as well as interventional pain management. That just makes recovery that much quicker.
Boy, Dr. Kim, you mentioned a nerve that is often undiagnosed that leads to back problems. I want you to repeat that after this 1-1 pitch to Larry Infante. Curve, a beauty, strike two called. I don't know if it was the sciatic nerve you mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah. It's the sacroiliac joint.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the posterior pelvis, right in the lower part of the back. It's often misinterpreted.
Can it get pinched or can it get out of line? Or?
Well, it can get irritated.
Okay.
And cause referred pain down the leg, so it can be confusing.
Yes, I understand that. Ooh, strike three called. A pitch that looked low and outside. Larry Infante is nodding in agreement with Corey Hinga, the plate umpire. Strike three called to Larry Infante on an unhittable fastball at the knees on the outside corner. Larry was caught looking, and that's the fifth strikeout for Wade Davis. 1 on, 1 out for Dallas Morris. I'm telling you, Dr. Kim, my late father, who passed on in 1994, was a general surgeon, and he would just be so happy to know about a resource in the medical field as promising and as good as St. Luke's Spine Care, because my dad practiced medicine in the time when a lot of desperate people with back pain turned to some rather ill-trained and unscrupulous people who build themselves as back specialists. That's not the route you want to go.
Absolutely not, John. The back is a serious thing.
Yeah.
It is the core of your body. Without it, you can't walk, you can't work.
No, I've had a very minimal amount of back pain in my life, and believe me, I know the feeling. I just had a stiff back for 3 days a couple of weeks ago from it just happened, and thankfully it went away with some icing and laying down, but no, it really affects you. Dallas Morris takes a strike on the outside corner. Back care has come so far in the last or 6 years. I know that.
Oh, absolutely. I would say that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and patients can be victims of unscrupulous behavior.
Yes, they can. I've seen it. I've heard of it. And thankfully there are resources in our community now, St. Luke's Spine Care. Dr. Kim, are you kind of the guy that heads up the department?
Well, I'm new to the community. The Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation at St. Luke's is the medical director is Dr. Craig Dove.
The runner goes, and a throw to second, and Hindley Stacia is gunned out by the catcher, Christian Lopez. Christian Lopez guns out Hindley Stacia. It went 2-4. It was a hit and run as Dallas Morris took a strike. He must have missed a sign. Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe Hindley was just running on his own. But there are 2 out now in the 5th inning. And Dallas Morris is in the hole, 1-2. Wade Davis brings it. High, ball 2. Dr. Kim, the head of the department then at St. Luke's Spine Center, is Dr. Dove.
Yes, from the medical specialty point of view, Dr. Dove is just absolutely wonderful.
The 2-2 to Dallas. It's cut on and missed. A breaking pitch from Wade Davis. Hard to believe this guy's record is 5-7, but it's because of lack of run support. He strikes out his 6th Kernel of the evening. Well, Dr. Kim, you, your wife, and your sister are here. Would you stay with us for one more half inning?
Sure, absolutely, John. That'll be wonderful.
All right.
I'm having a great time out here.
Well, so are we and our listeners and our big crowd here on St. Luke's Bank of the West Fireworks and Blues Brother Night. We go to the top of the 6th inning, and the Devil Rays are ahead of the Kernels 5-3.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Did you know that Honda has the highest fuel economy average of any automobile company in America? Randy Kill Honda in Cedar Rapids is proud of their Honda dealership, and for good reason. Just listen to this list of remarkable awards for Honda vehicles. The Ridgeline, voted the 2006 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The Honda Civic, voted 2006 Motor Trend Car of the Year. 2006 Car Driver voted the Honda Pilot as the best large SUV and best overall value of the year. Add it to the Honda Odyssey, Car Driver's best van for 2006. It's easy to see why Randy Kill Honda is the home of confidence and continues to offer the best value and lowest prices on your next new Honda. Check out the large selection of fuel-efficient pre-owned vehicles, too, online at randykill.com. Randy Kill Honda, where they treat you right.
Here we go to the top of the 6th inning. 5-3 in favor of West Michigan. They scored all 5 of their runs on 4 hits and a Kernel error back in the 2nd inning. The Kernels led early 1-0 on a RBI single from Brett Martinez that plated Dallas Morris back in the 1st. And then after the Devil Rays scored the big 5 runs in the 2nd, the Kernels answered with 2 in the home half of the 2nd. RBI single by Hindley Stacia and an RBI groundout by Larry Infante. Here's Ryan Hughes to lead it off, and he grounds one on one hop through the right side of the Kernel infield, a leadoff single for Ryan Hughes, and he has his 2nd hit of the game. Hughes stroked a low liner to the right of the diving Kernel first baseman, Mark Trumbo, and to the left of the diving Kernel second baseman, Larry Infante, into right field. Christian Lopez now at the plate. Dr. Sonny Kim is with the St. Luke's Spine Center. He's our guest here on St. Luke's Bank of the West Fireworks Blues Brothers Night. And Dr. Kim, you mentioned you and your wife, Yoon, are new to the community. And She's a dentist at Lyndale Dental. Here's a bunt, and Andy Hill's only play will be to pick it up and throw the batter out. A sacrifice bunt by Christian Lopez advances Ryan Hughes to second base. The sacrifice is the second one of the evening by the Devil Rays. It goes 1-3. What sorts of things, when you come to a community like Cedar Rapids, have you and your wife thrust yourself into? Are you in any service organizations? Have you done things at the YMCA or through your church? How have you gotten to know folks here?
Well, fortunately, everyone at work have been very supportive, and it's a lot of people at work who've been opening their arms and introducing me to things in the community. And we're pretty low key. We just enjoy, just the finer thing. Well, the simpler things in life.
You bet. Eastern Iowa, that's what makes it a great place to live. Curve is in for a strike. Are you homeowners yet?
Yes. Yeah, that was pretty exciting.
I bet. Which quadrant do you make your home in?
We're in Marion.
Oh, you're in Marion.
Yeah.
Great. Leading away at second is Ryan Hughes. Colt Simmons, the number 8 hitter, batting 195. No homers, 7 RBIs. Swings and misses, and he's in the hole, 0-2. Colt Simmons is the batter. He was a 33rd round pick of Tampa Bay in 2002. Out of Durango High School in Las Vegas, Colt Simmons is a right-handed batter, and he hit .255 with Visalia in the California League last year. Wide stance at the plate, now Colt steps out. Colt Simmons singled and scored in the 5-run Devil Rays second inning, and then he hit into a double play to end the Southwest Michigan third inning. Andy Hill has pitched well here tonight other than the second inning. He wants a word with Madison Edwards, his catcher. Colt Simmons has played in just 23 games for Southwest Michigan this year. One thing for sure, Dr. Sonny Kim, if somebody does experience back pain, another thing to avoid is ignoring it. You want to have it seen early.
Yes, I strongly encourage early intervention. The earlier we treat it, the less pain you have, the better outcomes.
Yes. Do you see our nationwide problem of obesity as correlating to back pain? I'll let you answer that in a moment. Colt Simmons whistles an 0-2 pitch foul into the aluminum-back bleachers down the right field line, the Papa John's Plaza. He's in the hole 0-2.
John, that is the question of the century, I think. I don't think that obesity is directly linked with back pain. I think it is a reflection of deconditioning and poor aerobic conditioning.
Okay, meaning fitness, nutrition, and the ultimate goal of normal weight might help prevent a back problem.
That's correct. Strengthening those core muscles that support the spine.
And that would be done in a gym or a fitness environment. And I would imagine it would involve things like abdominal work and back strengthening work.
Absolutely.
A high fly ball into right, and it's caught by Jordan Renz. Jordan then showcases his rifle arm as he heaves it all the way into Dallas Morris at third to hold Ryan Hughes at second. Colt Simmons is flown out to right, and there are 2 away here in the 6th inning. Is back pain ever hereditary, or is that not usually the case?
Well, certainly there is more evidence showing that arthritis and disc desiccation, for example, is a hereditary thing. And there are some inflammatory disorders of the spine that's hereditary as well.
Okay. My mom has arthritis in her family. About tap to short. Heinle Station will have to charge. He does, and makes a fine play to throw out Chris Cunningham and end the Devil Rays 6th inning. Chris Cunningham bounced one shallow short. Heinle Station came in charging, gloved it, and threw out the number 9 hitter. A leadoff single by Ryan Hughes, but Andy Hill prevents the Devil Rays from scoring. No runs for Southwest Michigan in the 6th. 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors, and the Devil Rays leave 1 man aboard. They've stranded 4. Dr. Sonny Kim, you and your wife Yoon, a dentist at Lyndale Dental Care, and your sister Susan from New Jersey heading to the University of Iowa. It's been a delight to meet you. Thank you for sharing your enthusiasm and the wonderful resource in our community, St. Luke's Spine Center.
Thank you so much, John. It was a pleasure being here.
Dr. Sonny Kim, our guest here in the middle innings. As we go to the bottom of the sixth inning, it's still Southwest Michigan on top of the Kernels, 5-3, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with sign contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
The Blues Brothers continue to captivate and enthrall this big crowd. Thanks to Dr. Sonny Kim from St. Luke's Spine Center, his wife Yoon from Lindale Dental Care, and Sonny Kim's sister Susan from New Jersey. Susan will be studying psychology at the University of Iowa come this fall. First up for the Kernels in the bottom of the sixth inning is Mark Trumbo. We've been out hit tonight 7-4, and Southwest Michigan's on top 5-3. The Kernels lead the Western Division standings with a record of 13-9. Ooh, a changeup from Wade Davis, and he fooled Mark Trumbo. A swing and a miss, strike one. Trumbo is walked and grounded out to second. Mark is batting cleanup in the Allen Motor Company order. A fastball, 91 miles an hour from Wade Davis is low, ball one. Wade Davis last pitched Sunday in Burlington, and he was a 3-2 loser against the Bees at Community Field. He went 5 2/3 innings, gave Burlington 3 runs on 4 hits, struck out 4, walked 4. Mark Trumbo takes down and away for ball 2. Now ball 3, low and outside to Mark Trumbo. Mark ahead 3-1, and he pops a fly ball outside of first down the right field line, and it's caught on the side of the mound of the Colonel right field bullpen by Jason St. Clair. Mark Trumbo ahead 3-1 is fouled out down the right field line to the second baseman, Jason St. Clair, and there's one away here in the Colonel sixth inning. One out in the Colonel sixth. We'll have our Springhouse trivia question for you when the Devil Rays bat in the top of the seventh inning. So stay tuned for that. Ball 1, low and outside to Brett Martinez, who drove in the first run of this game, a 2-out RBI single. Back in the first inning, Brett struck out his last time up, and a breaking pitch looked good from here, but the plate umpire Corey Hinga ruled it low. Ball 2 to Brett Martinez. Here in the bottom of the sixth, with the Colonels down by a pair, 5-3, we bring you Halo Happenings, results from around the Angel Farm system last night. Ball 3 downstairs to Brett Martinez. John Lackey, former Colonel John Lackey, threw a complete game 5-hit shutout, his second complete game shutout in a row, as our parent club, the Angels, blanked Tampa Bay 4-0. The Angels have now crept to within a game of 500. They're 44-45. A 3-0 pitch to Martinez is a strike at the knees, a fastball. Brett ready for the 3-1, and he breaks his bat and bloops one toward the Colonel first base dugout, chasing but coming up short, Ryan Hughes. Brett Martinez was sawed off on the fist. The business end, the barrel of his black lacquer bat, helicopter propelled down towards Bobby Magallanes, the Colonel manager coaching at third. AAA Salt Lake had only 5 hits as they lost to Sacramento 4-0 last night. Dallas McPherson, Mike Elwood, and Jeff Mathis, all former Colonels, each had a hit in the Salt Lake 4-0 loss to Sacramento. Salt Lake's record is now 54-38. The 3-2 to Brett. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Boy, this Wade Davis is some pitcher. He is a prospect for Tampa Bay. He fell behind Brett Martinez 3-0, came back to get Brett on a 3-2 pitch outside corner at the knees. And we're doing something we haven't done much in the second half. We're striking out a lot tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for the Southwest Michigan starter in just 5 2/3 innings. AA Arkansas edged Corpus Christi 6-5 last night in the Texas League. Arkansas's second half record is 11-11. And former Colonel All-Star third baseman Matt Brown was 4 for 4 with a home run and 4 runs driven in. A 1-0 pitch in on the hands of Josh Davies. It struck Josh's bat, rolls to his feet, 1-1 to Josh Davies. Bases empty, 2 gone, bottom of the 6th inning. Southwest Michigan on top of the Colonels, 5-3. Matt Brown, 4 for 4 last night with 4 RBIs and a home run as Arkansas edged Corpus Christi 6-5. A curveball is tapped foul towards the third base Devil Ray dugout. Strike 2 on Josh Davies. Rancho Cucamonga trimmed Lake Elsinore 8-7 last night. Former Colonel second baseman Nate Sutton was 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a walk-off home run for Nate Sutton. The 1-2 to Davies, swing and a miss on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Josh Davies fans, and that's 8 strikeouts for Wade Davis, the pitcher for the Devil Rays. The Colonels haven't had a hit since the second inning. We've been held hitless since the second inning, and now this game moves to the top of the 7th inning. Your chance coming up to earn a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. After 6, it's 5-3 Devil Rays.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talents. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
As promised, we have a chance for you to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse as the Devil Rays, who own a 5-3 lead, bat here in the top of the 7th against Colonel right-hander Andy Hill. Ball 1 is inside, a curve ball. Inside to Jason St. Clair, who has the biggest hit in this game, a 2-run double back in the 5-run Devil Rays second inning. Ball 2 is high, a fastball. One of the signature dishes at the Springhouse that we love reminding you about is the hot beef sandwich. It's served until 8 in the evening, and it's served with mashed potatoes and smothered with gravy, if that's how you like it, and most do at the Springhouse. It's only $5.65. The hot beef sandwich is a winner and a big hit at the Springhouse Family Restaurant. Andy Hill's 3-0 pitch is a strike to Jason St. Clair. If you've been one of our previous 46 Springhouse Trivia Question winners, congratulations. Please play along wherever you're tuned in this evening, but don't call in as we're looking for different winners every night. Oh, boy, a 3-1 pitch, and Jason St. Clair threw his bat away, took 3 steps towards first before the plate umpire, Corey Hinga, said, "Not so fast, my friend, that's strike 2. So it's a full count to Jason St. Clair. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill will be giving you the Springhouse Trivia Question after this payoff pitch, and it's fouled straight back. Our good friend Carl Ehrman will be answering the phone. Carl will be asking for the answer to the Springhouse Trivia Question. Then, if it's correct, he'll write down your name and your address so that we can send you the $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Another payoff pitch to St. Clair. Up and in, ball 4. Andy Hill has walked Jason St. Clair, the leadoff batter, to open up the Southwest Michigan 7th inning. And Luvita Hill, how about that Springhouse Trivia Question?
Here goes. Since bursting onto the scene as the 2001 American League Rookie of the Year, he has compiled 5 consecutive 200-hit seasons. Who is he? The number to call is 896-7589. Once again, 896-7589.
Uh-oh, here's a wild throw that gets back to Mark Trumbo. It goes into the Colonel bullpen. Rounding second, going to third is St. Clair. The throw by Trumbo cut off. A 2-base throwing error by Colonel pitcher Andy Hill. Ooh, that hurts. A walk on a 3-2 pitch, and then a wild throw on a pickoff attempt. Boy, that really hurts now. The leadoff walk and then a throwing error by the Colonel starting pitcher, and it's a runner at third with nobody out as the Devil Rays try to score for the first time since the 5-run second. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill will repeat that Springhouse Trivia Question and repeat the phone number a couple of times here right now.
Since bursting onto the scene as the 2001 American League Rookie of the Year, he has compiled 5 consecutive 200-hit seasons. Who is he? The number to call is 896-7589. Once again, that's 896-7589.
A breaking pitch low and away. Ball 1 to Neil Walton. Our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest, Mike Pete, is warming up down the right field line for the Kernels. We'll give you that Springhouse Question again in just a moment, along with the phone number. Haven't stumped you in 11 years, and I don't think we will tonight. A breaking pitch is in for a strike. Mike Pete warming up down the right field line for the Kernels. And Luvita will have it again right now.
Since bursting onto the scene as the 2001 American League Rookie of the Year, he has compiled 5 consecutive 200-hit seasons. Who is he? 896-7589.
896-7589, 896-7589 for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. One ball, 2 strikes to Neil Walton. Sounds like we may have a winner in our Springhouse Trivia Question, Luvita. Carl Ehrman, a good friend of ours. Here's a drive into right center. It may fall, it may fall. No, Stantrell Smith catches it, then heaves a throw into the catcher, Brett Martinez, and that is a fine play by Stantrell Smith. We're having trouble hearing our caller, so perhaps he or she can speak up so that we can get their name and address. Having all sorts of trouble hearing the name of the Springhouse Trivia Question winner. Carl Ehrman, does it sound like, could you at least hear that the caller gave the right answer?
Yeah, he had the right answer.
You just can't hear up here, can you?
Yep.
Well, that's great. Carl Ehrman is a long time friend and supporter of Colonel Baseball. Carl made a very big professional transition last year, relinquishing his general managership of the Colony Inn and the Amana Colonies, and Carl is, from by all accounts, very happy in his new venture, a strike call to Cesar Suarez. Boy, that was a good play by Stantrell Smith to race in and catch that ball and then throw home and prevent Jason St. Clair from scoring. Luvita Hill will be along in the bottom of the 7th inning to congratulate our Springhouse tribute. Ground ball base. Oh, diving stop by Infante. He took a run away from the Devil Rays. Holds the runner St. Clair at third. Throws the batter Cesar Suarez out. The defensive play of the game for the Kernels as Larry Infante on a hard hit grounder to the left of as Cesar Suarez on a hard-hit grounder to the left of Larry Infante, dove to his left, popped to his feet, looked the runner back to third, threw out Suarez, and that's a run-saving play by Larry Infante here in the 7th inning. Wow, what a play by Larry Infante to rob Cesar Suarez of a hit and to take a run away from the Devil Rays. Bobby Magallanes is coming on. He'll likely make a pitching change. That'll give us a chance right now to congratulate our Springhouse Trivia question winner. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, please repeat the question and give the answer that our winner gave, and then please congratulate our winner of the $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse.
Bursting onto the scene as the 2001 American League Rookie of the Year, he has compiled 5 consecutive 200-hit seasons. Who is he?
Yes, and Luvita, I'm going to have you take a crack, and not to put you on the spot, but it's fun to hear people try to decipher this fellow's name. He's a household name in Japan, a household name among baseball fans. Give it a crack.
I'm going to go with Ichiro Suzuki.
Almost. He goes by his first name only, Ichiro. In fact, very few people, Luvita, know his last name because his jersey has his first name on it.
Really? That's unique.
Carl is saying that the winner of the Springhouse Trivia question did know his first and last name, Ichiro Suzuki. And who won the $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse?
Congratulations to Joe Fontenot of Marion, Iowa.
Joe, congratulations. You've won yourself a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Luvita, some other remarkable facts about Ichiro of the Mariners.
He hit 300 or better for 5 straight seasons. He won 5 Gold Gloves. Oh, wow. And now, I'm sorry about that. He won 5 Gold Gloves in a row, and he stole 30 or more bases in 5 years running.
In addition to having 200 hits for 5 straight years. That's amazing, isn't it, Luvita?
That is.
Ichiro Suzuki. And once again, Luvita, if you can congratulate our winner of the $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse.
Congratulations to Joe Fontenot of Marion, Iowa.
Way to go, Joe Fontenot.
You know, John, when I read that 5 Gold Gloves, I got a little confused there because in boxing there's the Golden Glove.
That's right.
That's why I hesitated.
Well, that's exactly right. And the Gold Glove in baseball symbolizes the best fielder at your position.
Okay.
And Ichiro Suzuki is certainly that. Andy Hill goes 6 2/3 for the Kernels. Andy surrendered 5 runs, I believe only 4 earned, on 7 hits. The Colonel right-hander Andy Hill struck out 2. Andy Hill walked 1. No, Andy Hill walked 2. And he hit a batter.
This call to the Colonel bullpen is sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular.
And Luvita Hill will tell us a little bit about Mike Pete, our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest, in just a moment. Mike's facing left-handed hitter J.T. Hall, and he misses inside with a curveball, ball 1. Now ball 2 outside.
Mike Pete is making his 5th appearance with a 0-0 record. His ERA is 2.70, and he hasn't played any games yet. Mike Pete has pitched 3 1/3 innings. He's had 2 players hit against him. He's walked 4, and the league is batting .200 against him.
Ooh, a fastball just low, and I'll be darned, it's 3-0 to left-handed batting. J.T. Hall, runner at third, 2 out, Top of the 7th, the 3-0, strike one called from lefty Mike Pete. Mike told us he could have played baseball at Duke or Harvard because he was a 4.0 student in high school, but he chose the University of Florida because of the great opportunity to represent the Gators. Ball 4, high and inside. J.T. Hall is walked, and there are runners at the corners with 2 out here in the 7th inning. Well, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill, we're going to say another quick hello to Carl Ehrman, and then in the bottom of the 7th inning, we'll bring you back to give us an update on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
Sounds good.
Carl Ehrman, a longtime supporter of the Kernels, fellow Cardinal fan, one of the best friends I have in eastern Iowa. Looking on here, Carl, we got to get out of this jam now. Right-handed hitting Garrett Gross drives one in the air foul down the right field side. Carl, what are you doing now? You're still in the food industry, aren't you?
Yeah, yep. I got on the other side now. I work for a food distributor, and I sell the restaurants now.
And you know what it's like to sit on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
You have to.
35 years.
Wow. The 0-1 is up and away, and it's ball 1 to Garrett Gross.
Speaking of the Cardinals, that's where I'm going Monday night.
You're going to see New Busch Stadium. I've never seen it.
Yep, I'm excited.
Now, who do they play, Carl?
The Braves.
Wow. You got to take some pictures and tell me what you think.
I sure will.
Time is called. The Redbirds won in 10 innings this afternoon.
6 in a row.
Wow, I didn't know that. Beating the Dodgers in the 10th inning. It was 110 degrees at the New Busch Stadium.
Don't remind me.
The 1-1. Fouled straight back. A good rip by Garrett Gross.
We're going to a night game.
It'll be a little cooler. Still heavy, humid air in St. Louis. Look at those Bank of the West fans down below, Carl. They haven't stopped since this game started. Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey somehow made it around all the sections here this evening, and once again sold out of our Quad City International Airport AirTran Launch-A-Ball. Wow, that's amazing. So that'll be another fun prelude to the Bank of the West fireworks after this game. Mike Pete ahead of Garrett Gross, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Curved. Ooh, a runner goes, a throw into center field, and the run scores. Oh, brother, we can't play that kind of baseball. Brother. The runner went, and the throw by Brett Martinez sailed high over the head of Larry Infante, and Jason St. Clair scores. Doggone it. First of all, it looked like strike 3 to Garrett Gross. I don't know how it wasn't strike 3. And Brett Martinez looked to third, then his I am sorry. Madison Edwards is catching for the second time this season, not Brett Martinez. Brett's the DH. Madison Edwards' throw sailed into center field, and it wasn't Madison Edwards' fault. He looked at third. I still don't know how that pitch was called a ball. Still don't know how that pitch was called a ball to Garrett Gross from Mike Pete. Madison Edwards with only his second error of the year, a throwing error into center field, allowing the runner from third to score. Now a bouncer to second, and it's gloved by Larry Infante, who throws out Garrett Gross. Doggone it. We had that runner at third, and we weren't going to let him score until the runner from first broke, J.T. Hall. The throw by the Colonel catcher, not Brett Martinez, Madison Edwards sailed into center field. That's the second Colonel error of the game. In the seventh inning, one run for the Devil Rays on no hits, one Colonel error. Southwest Michigan leaves one man aboard. They've stranded 5. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning, sponsored by Lindale Dental Care. After 6.5, it's Southwest Michigan 6 and the Colonels 3.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
You can hear by the thunderous clapping of the fans that the Blues Brothers are presenting the seventh inning stretch here tonight, sponsored by Lindale Dental Care. The Blues Brothers have this big crowd on Bank of the West fireworks, St. Luke's night, up and dancing. Jeff Camrath is on in relief for the Devil Rays, who lead it 6-3. The final line on Andy Hill. 6 2/3 innings pitched. Andy was charged with 6 runs, only 4 earned on 7 hits. Andy struck out 2 and walked 2. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Jordan Renz, who is 0-for-2 tonight. Jordan leading off as the lower third of the Kernels bat against right-hander Jeff Camrath. There's a high fly ball into left in front of the track. Chris Cunningham waits and has it. Jordan Renz just missed for the second time in a row, connecting for his 16th home run of the year. That pitch by Camrath came right in on the hands of Jordan Renz. Jordan was still strong enough to hit it to deep left for the first out here in the 7th inning. 6-3 in favor of Southwest Michigan. Jeff Camrath on in relief, a right-hander. The starter, Wade Davis, went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, all earned on only 4 hits. Davis fanned 8 and walked 3, also hit a batter. Camrath's pitch to Stantrell Smith is lifted in the air to shallow left. The shortstop backpedals and brings it down with a one-handed grab. That was Neil Walton. Stantrell Smith, first pitch swinging, has popped out to shallow left where the shortstop made the play. 6-3 in favor of Southwest Michigan. We'll keep it right here between innings because we want to give you a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill will have that complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard after the Colonel's bat here in the 7th inning. Well, Luvita, Jeff Camrath doesn't have an impressive one-loss record, but the new pitcher for the Devil Rays looks good here in the 7th inning.
That's right. He's making his 18th appearance with a 0-4 record. He has a 30.98 ERA. He hasn't saved any games yet. He's pitched 54 1/3 innings, and in those 54 1/3 innings, he had 43 players hit against him. He's walked 29 and struck out 45. The league is batting 214 against Camrath.
He's out of the University of Virginia, and he's even on the count, 1-1. To Madison Edwards, who's catching for the second time this season, left-handed batter. Strike 2 called from the 6'3" right-hander, Jeff Camrath, Kamrath. Big gap in right center for Madison Edwards. If he could drive one into that alley, he could run forever. Instead, he takes a curve for strike 3 called. Madison Edwards rung up, and the Kernels go in order in the 7th. We still haven't had a hit since the 2nd inning. And we're trailing after 7, 6-3. Luvita Hill has to skedaddle in just a moment, but before she does, she has a complete look at all the games from this afternoon and tonight on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
For this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, we'd like to thank State Farm insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn. Nearly all the games are complete in the American League. Completed earlier this afternoon at Camden Yards, the Orioles dismantled the Rangers 8-1. At Yankee Stadium, the Yankees mauled the White Sox 14-3. And completed earlier this evening, at Rogers Center, the Blue Jays took the Mariners 7-6, and that game went into 14 innings. At Comerica Park, the Tigers shut out the Royals 6-0. And at the Metrodome, the Twins whipped the Indians 6-2. Still taking place in the American League at Fenway Park, the Red Sox lead the A's 7-0 on the bottom of the 8th. And yet to take place, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, will host the Devil Rays at Angel Stadium. In the National League, completed earlier this afternoon at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals crept past the Dodgers 2-1. The Mets bowed to the Cubs 9-2 at Wrigley Field. And the Phillies crushed the Giants at SBC Park 14-6. Completed earlier this evening, the Astros shut out the Marlins at Dolphin Stadium 12-0. And at Great American Ballpark, the Reds edged the Rockies 3-2. Still taking place in the National League, the score is currently tied 5-5 at PNC Park in the top of the 8th, and that game is Nationals Pirates. And at Chase Ballpark in the bottom of the 1st, the Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 1-0. Yet to take place in the National League at Petco Park, Padres Braves. That was a complete look at our State Farm Major League scoreboard, and once again, we'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn.
Great job, Luvita Hill. Thank you so much for that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Luvita, thank you for another great day and evening of work. I know you have to go now to work at Systems Unlimited, and we want to let you have plenty of time to get there, and we'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.
That's right. I will be back here with you tomorrow, John.
That'll be great. Luvita, we really appreciate your great work, and you have a safe trip down to the Iowa City, Coralville area.
I will, John, and thank you. I appreciate you working with me and helping me learn.
Well, it's been wonderful, Luvita, and we'll set our sights on tomorrow afternoon and hope we can rally here tonight, trailing 6-3 in the top of the 8th inning. Mike Pete has delivered a strike to Ryan Hughes. It's 1-1 to Ryan Hughes. Swing and a miss on a Mike Pete changeup. It's just past the top of the hour, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. The 1-2 pitch from Pete to the left-handed batter. A one-hop comebacker. Mike Pete dazzles this crowd by stabbing it and running it to first before a short underhand toss to Mark Trumbo. Ryan Hughes is retired on a 1-3 comebacker. The story of this game, a 5-run Devil Ray second inning, and the Kernels have not recovered since. We're going to have our second call to the Kernel bullpen, sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Mike Pete goes 2/3 of an inning, allows no runs on no hits. Mike Pete struck out none, and the lefty walked one. This new pitcher for the Kernels is right-hander Tim DeJurgis. Tim DeJurgis takes over for the Kernels. Tim coming off a subpar outing here on Thursday in the Kernel 14-6 loss to Clinton. Tim DeJurgis went 2/3 of an inning Thursday night, surrendered 6 runs on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 3. Tim DeJurgis is on the hill with 1 out and nobody on to face Christian Lopez, who has been hit by a pitch and scored, singled, and laid down a sacrifice bunt. Right-hander Tim DeJurgis is now pitching. DeJurgis 0-5 this year with a 4.22 ERA. Tim is on for the 28th time. He's pitched 42 2/3 innings, allowed 32 hits in 42 2/3, struck out 38 in 42 2/3, walked 24. Tim DeJurgis will come on to try to keep this a 6-3 game in favor of the Devil Rays. Carl Ehrman has dropped in to say hello, and Carl, with your new job in the food distribution business down in the Amanas Have you had time to come to a Kernel game yet this spring or summer?
This is the first one I've been able to make. But
You picked the best night, even though it's a bit warm. I've never heard this season a more enthusiastic crowd, Carl.
There's a lot of people here tonight. Pretty exciting.
Now, you'll be heading down Monday for the Cardinal game at the New Busch Stadium against the Braves. How did you get the tickets, and what price range were they?
Well, being the computer geek I am.
You say that tongue-in-cheek because you are averse to the computer like I am.
I allowed my daughter to go on, and we purchased 4 tickets.
Oh, great.
They were, I believe we paid like $150 for 4 tickets.
Okay. Yes, we all know that's outrageous. I hope, Carl, that you're within spitting distance of the field. Do you know where you are?
I believe we're in the second deck. The lower deck, I believe, are a little bit more than that.
Well, that's all right. Are you behind home plate?
Down the first baseline.
Good. A curve and a strike call to Christian Lopez from Tim DeJurgis. 6'5", 235-pound, 23-year-old Colonel right-hander. Ooh, a let-up just missed high, apparently, to Christian Lopez. The Devil Rays sent 10 men to the plate and scored 5 runs in the second inning, and the Kernels have not been able to recover from that devastating inning. Although Andy Hill pitched very well other than that second inning. Remember, the Kernels have made a couple of errors tonight that have led to 2 of the Devil Rays' 6 runs. So take those 2 errors away, and we're in a 1-run ball game. Foul off to the right by Lopez. The 1-2 from Tim. Popped in the air into right center. Larry Infante going back. And it's the right fielder, Jordan Renz, who darts between Stantrell Smith and Larry Infante. Jordan to the rescue.
I thought that was going to drop between all 3 of them. It looked about the way.
It sure did, Carl. And it was Jordan Renz, who's been struggling with the bat a little bit of late. But as the Angels and Kernels preach constantly, you can't let some tribulations and trials at the plate affect your defense, and that was an outstanding running catch. Jordan Renz had to come speeding, sprinting in to his right, and between Stantrell Smith and Larry Infante, here's a high drive into center. No problem. I'm sorry, I misread it off the bat. And Stantrell Smith in straightaway center catches it off the bat of Colt Simmons. Colt Simmons flies to center, and down in order go the Devil Rays in the top of the 8th inning. Can the Kernels rally, trailing by 3 with 2 at-bats left against Southwest Michigan? That's their goal, to rally. We go to the home half of the 8th inning, and the Kernels trail Southwest Michigan 6-3.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Did you know that Honda has the highest fuel economy average of any automobile company in America? Randy Kill Honda in Cedar Rapids is proud of their Honda dealership, and for good reason. Just listen to this list of remarkable awards for Honda vehicles. The Ridgeline, voted the 2006 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The Honda Civic, voted 2006 Motor Trend Car of the Year. 2006 Car Driver voted the Honda Pilot as the best large SUV and best overall value of the year. Add it to the Honda Odyssey, Car Driver's best van for 2006. It's easy to see why Randy Kill Honda is the home of confidence and continues to offer the best value and lowest prices on your next new Honda. Check out the large selection of fuel-efficient pre-owned vehicles, too, online at randykill.com. Randy Kill Honda, where they treat you right.
You're hearing the Blues Brothers and their final number here tonight as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's listen in to that favorite, Sweet Home Chicago. The Blues Brothers. Boy, I don't think, Carl Ehrman, I've seen a crowd this excited about fun outing entertainment experience at the ballpark. Listen to the crowd. Boy, those Blues Brothers, Carl, are something, aren't they?
They are quite the entertainers.
They really are.
Yep, they are.
Well, the Kernels are in this game, trailing 6-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, facing Jeff Camrath. Now, Carl, I missed what one of the Blues Brothers did.
Oh, no, the one that plays Belushi, he's great. He's really great.
The one that plays John Belushi.
Yeah. Oh.
He is something. Jeff Camrath. Well, a final encore. Final encore cheer for the Blues Brothers, Carl.
We got the top of the lineup here?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Top of the order. Let's go to work against the right-hander Camrath. Heinle Stacia has done his part to help the Kernels tonight in the field and at the plate. He's reached 3 times, has an RBI single, and started a fabulous double play to end the Devil Ray 3rd inning. Strike 1 to Heinle. Switch-hitting Colonel shortstop takes a change-up high for a ball. 6-3 Southwest Michigan. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll have our attendance to share with you when the Devil Rays bat in the top of the 9th. Can't wait to share that number with you. A curve is strike 2 called to Heinle. Carl Ehrman will be going down to Busch Stadium in St. Louis on Monday. And Carl, I would suppose you're going to take your wife Debbie and your daughters Darcy. Here's a foul off to the left and Kerry.
Yep, and my son Jacob.
Jacob is he training for football again?
They'll start here in a couple more weeks.
Okay.
I believe they have a football camp, and then 2 days after that. Hopefully it'll cool down a little bit.
I'm sure it will by then, Carl. It's funny that everybody mentions the heat, and it is hot and humid, but having grown up in the St. Louis area, we have 3 to 4 months of this, and you just kind of get used to it.
Yep, you do. I really don't mind it, so it's much better than winter.
That's right. Heinle breaks his bat and rolls one to the right side. Camrath pounces off the mound to his left, gloves it, and Jeff Camrath beats Heinle Stacia to first. Jeff Camrath, in relief of Wade Davis, has gotten Heinle Stacia to break his bat and roll out unassisted to the pitcher. To Camrath himself. 4 in a row retired by Jeff Camrath. Boy, you look back on that second inning, and you just had a feeling that big inning was going to be hard to overcome tonight, and so far the Kernels have not quite overcome it. And 4 in a row retired by Camrath. Here's a chopper to first by Larry Infante. Behind the base, the first baseman gloves it, speeds to the bag ahead of Larry Infante, and Jeff Camrath is making it look easy. He gets Larry Infante on a first pitch bouncer to the first baseman. If the Kernels can't rally tonight, our second half record starting tomorrow's second game of this 4-game series would be 13-10.
We need to get some hits. How long has it been? The second inning?
Yes, Carl. We haven't had a hit since the second inning. We have been hitless since Heinle Stacia's RBI single in the second inning made it a 5-2 game. It's now 6-3 Southwest Michigan. There's a breaking ball in for a strike to Dallas Morris. Dallas doubled and scored to give the Kernels an abbreviated 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning. Camrath, the right-hander out of the University of Virginia, fires, and a swing and a miss, strike 2. Hard to believe this Southwest Michigan team is 40-51 overall. They've suffered from the same challenge we have. They've had little or no offense this season. They're last in the league in home runs, last in the league in hitting, but they have excellent pitching. Dallas Morris bloops one that skips off the top of the Colonel first base dugout into the seats. It's still 0-2 to Dallas. Our good friend Carl Ehrman is going to give us our baseball fun fact when the Devil Rays bat in the top of the 9th inning, if Carl's able to read it. Okay, Carl will have to get going after this inning. I'll give you the baseball fun fact in the top of the 9th inning. Carl, I sure hope you have a great trip down to St. Louis. I'll be eager to hear about your impressions of the new Busch Stadium.
I'll be glad to tell you I'm really excited.
You should be. I've heard both positive and I've heard some negative that I'll be interested to see if you concur with.
Okay.
A curve, and it's tipped foul behind the plate. Dallas Morris battling with nobody on, 2 away, bottom of the 8th inning. Big crowd here on Bank of the West Fireworks, St. Luke's Blues Brother night. Thank goodness Bank of the West presented 1,500 fans to the fans as they came in this evening. A foul off to the right by Dallas Morris. Carl, you had an interesting theory about why a dogfight for the Cardinals, our favorite teams. You and I are Cardinal fans. Why not pulling away and running away with the division might turn out to be a good thing?
Well, if you look at the last couple Septembers, I believe the last 2 or 3 weeks, the Cardinals were basically clinched the division. And if you look who went to the World Series, it was a wild card Houston, and a year or two before was the Marlins, wasn't it?
That's right.
Wild card team. So it seems like they have been in the battle more recently, and they just had better luck in the playoffs.
Yes, it might be good for the Cardinals to get hot down the stretch. A swing and a miss by Dallas Morris, and that's 6 in a row retired by Jeff Camrath. The Colonels have not had a hit since the 2nd inning. And as we go to the top of the 9th, it's the Double A 6, the Colonels 3. You're enjoying the action on the Colonel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slow Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
Top of the 9th inning, 6-3 Southwest Michigan. Great news, 4,596. 4,596 on St. Luke's Bank of the West Fireworks Blues Brothers night here at the ballpark. It's imperative that Tim DeJurgis keep the Devil Rays from scoring and keep the Kernels within striking distance of Southwest Michigan. The Devil Rays lead it 6-3 here in the top of the 9th inning. Ball one high from Tim DeJurgis. We promised you our baseball fun fact here in the Devil Ray 9th inning, and we'll have it after this 1-0 pitch to Cunningham. And the right-handed hitter, Chris Cunningham, takes high for ball 2. This is a remarkable baseball fun fact. Last night in San Francisco, the Giants became the first big league team in history to start an outfield of 3 40-year-old plus players. That's right. At AT&T Ballpark last night, San Francisco became the first major league team to start an outfield of 3 40-year-old plus players. Barry Bonds was in left, Steve Finley was in center, Moises Alou was in right. And all 3 are over 40 years old. Tim DeJurgis walks the number 9 hitter on 4 pitches, and that's not the start he and the Colonels were hoping for here in the 9th inning. Chris Cunningham walks, and we have a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation unfolding between Colonel pitching coach and Colonel right-hander Tim DeJurgis. Everyone says you've got a wonderful heart. Mercy Medical Center can help you keep it that way by you scheduling a $35 heart-to-heart screening at Mercy Medical Center. That $35 heart-to-heart screening is quick, easy, and convenient, and it could save your life. Call Mercy Medical Center at 398-6821. That's 398-6821 for an appointment and to have your heart screened. Kern and Ronan's Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation is over with Tim DeJurgis. Jason St. Clair has scored 2 runs. He's driven in 2 runs. Leadoff batter for Southwest Michigan, Jason St. Clair, waits as Tim DeJurgis throws over to first, and Chris Cunningham is back safely. Southwest Michigan's been hitting much better in this month of July than they have all year. They're hitting .264 in July. A bunt to the right of the plate. Tim DeJurgis pops off the hill to his left, gloves it, underhands to first. Ooh, Mark Trumbo wasn't on the base, and safe is the batter. That should be an error on the Colonel first baseman, who just got his feet crossed and failed to be on the bag. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Chris Cunningham goes to second, and it's a sacrifice for Jason St. Clair and an error charged on the Colonel first baseman, who somehow missed the base. Ooh, I don't know how that happened. I just don't know how that happened. But it did. It did happen, and now the Devil Rays have runners at first and second with nobody out. Neil Walton will likely try to bunt. Neil Walton has one sacrifice bunt here this evening. It came in the first inning. He's walked, he's struck out, and he's flown to center. At the top of this inning, we said it would be imperative that the Kernels not fall any further behind Southwest Michigan, but the Devil Rays are knocking on the door. They're trying to put this one on ice with runners at first and second and nobody out. Southwest Michigan leads 6-3. First pitch to Walton is bunted to the left of the plate. Tim DeJurgis gloves, throws high, but Larry Infante, covering first base, caught it, and a successful sacrifice, his second of the evening, by Neil Walton. Neil Walton bunted to the left of home plate. It took a good play by the Colonel's 6'5" right-hander Tim DeJurgis to get to the ball. Tim then had a lot on his peg to Larry Infante, and the play went pitcher to second baseman who covered first, 1-4. So a walk, an error, and a sacrifice bunt. The Devil Rays have runners at second and third with only one out, and ball one in the dirt. What a stop by Madison Edwards, the Colonel catcher, to prevent a wild pitch. Yes, last night in San Francisco, the Giants became the first team in big league history to start an outfield of 3 40-year-old plus players. Barry Bonds, 41 years old, was in left. Steve Finley, 41 years old, was in center. Moises Alou, 40 years old, was in right field. Swinging a foul straight back by Cesar Suarez. Cesar Suarez is nothing for 4 tonight. He's batting with the Colonel infield in for the play at the plate, the 1-1. Hammered fair down the right field line for extra bases. Scoring from third, Chris Cunningham. Jason St. Clair trots home. Racing around second and holding there with a 2-run double is Cesar Suarez. And the Devil Rays have sewn this one up here in the top of the ninth inning. A line drive double past Mark Trumbo, fair by about 3 inches down the right field line. And that 2-run double makes it 8-3 in favor of Southwest Michigan. Boy, you walk the number 9 hitter, and look what happens. You walk that number 9 hitter, and you are asking for big, big trouble. An error followed, and errors have played a big, big part in this ball game. The Kernels have made 4. Look out, a pitch hacked foul past third by J.T. Hall. Yes, the Kernels have made 4 errors tonight. 1 in the second inning, 2 in the 7th inning, and 1 here in the 9th inning. So our hope that it would be a 3-run game going to the bottom of the 9th has been vanquished, and the Devil Rays are now comfortably ahead, 8-3. But don't let the score dampen your spirits. This is probably the most fun-loving crowd certainly the most enthusiastic and boisterous we've had all season long here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. And we hope you'll meet us at the stadium tomorrow afternoon. A high fly ball into left. J.T. Hall's drive is gathered in by Josh Davies. J.T. Hall flies to left. 1 out here in the Devil Ray 9th inning. We'll play at 2 o'clock tomorrow. The Kernels will be signing autographs from 1:20 until 1:40, and popcorn's only $1. After the game, you can run the bases thanks to Velocity Sports Performance, and also play catch on the field after the game tomorrow. Here's Garrett Gross, who's 0 for 4 so far tonight. Right-handed batter, a pitch in the dirt, eludes Madison Edwards. It rolls to the right toward the Kernel dugout, and that allows Cesar Suarez to advance to third. Well, the Kernels just haven't played well tonight. It's that simple. A wild pitch charge to Tim DeJurgis, and the Devil Rays now have a runner at third with 1 out, and the Kernel infield will likely come in for the play at the plate. No, they stayed back, and ball 2 from Tim DeJurgis to Garrett Gross. The 2-0. Over but low, ball 3. Southwest Michigan has out-hit us 8-4. They've played errorless baseball, and the Kernels have committed 4 errors. And there's ball 4 outside. Tim DeJurgis' control has been on shaky ground the last 2 outings. Tim walks Garrett Gross on 4 pitches, and now it's first and third. 1 out for Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes will bat. He's 2 for 4. The Kernels haven't hit a home run yet tonight, but we've hit 53 home runs this season, and every one of those Kernel home runs has resulted in a $25 donation from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. And with a total of 53 home runs, PRC's Community Care has contributed $1,325 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. That's quite a generous commitment from PRC's Community Care. Ryan Hughes, a left-handed batter, rips one foul into the railing of the Devil Ray third base dugout. 4,596 enjoying the Blues Brothers and anticipating the fabulous fireworks display to be sponsored for the second time this year by Bank of the West. Hughes bats with no bend in his knees, and he whacks the 0-1 pitch foul into the sweeps. And on a ricochet, a Kernel fan has earned a lifetime honorary Kernel contract and a free spaghetti dinner from Zio Giano's as they caught that foul fly. And one of our ushers is heading down with that lifetime honorary Kernel contract to Zio Giano's. Or the Kernel lifetime honorary Kernel contract along with a free spaghetti dinner to Zio Giano's. Our staff member has just got to find the right guy that made the great catch. No balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Hughes. A pitch gets past Madison Edwards, goes to the screen, and another run scores to make it 9-3 Southwest Michigan. Cesar Suarez dashes home from third. Down to second goes Garrett Gross. We'll have to wait and see whether it's ruled a wild pitch or a pass ball on Madison Edwards. Wild pitch. It is a wild pitch. Charge to Tim DeJurgis, his second of the inning. And a run scores. Here's a hard line shot foul into the Kernel right field bullpen. We'll be with you here in the zone at 1:40 tomorrow afternoon with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. Strike 3 called. Strike 3 called, that is, to Ryan Hughes. For the Devil Rays in the ninth inning, 3 runs on 1 hit, 1 Kernel error, our 4th of the night, and Southwest Michigan leaves 1 man aboard. They've stranded 6. Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the ninth inning with Southwest Michigan ahead 9-3.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional peak and insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Beacon Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Now, summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants. And the plant and flower headquarters here in eastern Iowa is Peck's. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping, invites you to stroll their acres of landscape, and whether it's a single flower or an arrangement, a single house plant or a yard of landscaping, Peck's does it all. Peck's will provide you, the customer, with an enjoyable, memorable shopping experience. They'll give you all the free expert advice that you'll need to make your fresh, colorful flowers grow and your plants grow as well. Stop in often this summer to Peck's Flower Shop Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. Peck's is open tomorrow until 5 o'clock. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning, and the Kernels trail the Devil Rays 9-3. Jeff Camrath will try to save it for Wade Davis. The reason Camrath is in line for a save is that if he completes the 3rd inning of work, that's enough to qualify for a save no matter what the score is. So Camrath will try to save it for Wade Davis. And the Kernels looking for their first hit since the 2nd inning. Led after 1 inning tonight, 1-0, but then the game turned in the top of the 2nd with the Devil Rays struck for 5 runs on 4 hits and a Kernel error. Ball 1 upstairs from Jeff Camrath to Mark Trumbo. 9-3 Devil Rays. Ball 2 inside to Mark. The Kernels took 2 out of 3 from Clinton and hope to avoid falling behind in this series 1-0 by rallying here in the 9th inning in front of this big crowd. Ball 3 outside to Mark Trumbo. Our goal was to keep it a 3-run game in the top of the 9th inning, but the Devil Rays took advantage of 2 walks and an error and 1 hit, and they scored 3 to make it 9-3. Strike 1 at the knees to Mark Trumbo, according to the plate umpire, Corey Hinga, who takes a lot of heat from the Kernel faithful. Ball 4, low and outside. Jeff Camrath has allowed his first base runner, and this is 3rd full inning of work. Camrath walks Mark Trumbo. Brett Martinez is at the plate now for the Kernels. Brett singled home the first run of the game with 2 out in the bottom of the 1st inning. A curve is taken for a strike call to Martinez from Jeff Camrath. Well, the good news about Tim DeJurgis' outing, he only allowed 1 hit in an inning and 2/3 of relief. But unfortunately, Tim walked a couple, struck out 1, and he allowed 3 runs. I believe only 1 of them was earned. The 0-2 to Brett is high. Brett Martinez batting with nobody out. Trumbo at first. Bottom of the ninth inning. The Kernels down 9-3. Curve, and that one's grounded foul past the Colonel manager, Bobby Magallanes, coaching at third base. Tomorrow afternoon is a family fun day. The Kernels will be signing autographs from 1:20 until 1:40. Popcorn's only $1. The game starts at 2 o'clock. The gates open at 1. And don't let the dire predictions of swing and a miss by Brett Martinez, one out here in the Kernels' ninth inning. Don't let the dire predictions of life-threatening heat and humidity keep you from coming out. We have plenty of places that are cool and breezy and in the shade. We have all the great refreshing soft drinks and water that you could want. So come on out and join us. Meet us at the stadium tomorrow. Swing and a miss by Josh Davies on a changeup, strike one. 11 Kernels have struck out tonight against starter Wade Davis and reliever Jeff Camrath. 9-3 Southwest Michigan on top here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Josh Davies takes low and away for a ball. Mark Trumbo not being held at first. The fans that bought the Quad City International Airport AirTran Launchables will have a blast after the game, tossing them onto the field towards hula hoop targets. That's one of the most popular promotions we have going here on the weekends. The Quad City International Airport AirTran Launchable promotion, where fans toss tennis balls down onto the field of play after the games on Fridays and Saturdays. Ball 3, high and tight to Josh Davies. Josh has struck out 3 times tonight. The 20-year-old Australian is a .217 right-handed batter. He should get something good to swing at on this 3-1 pitch from Camrath. He does, and a high pop fly down the left field line. It's caught in foul ground by Chris Cunningham. Josh Davies fouls out down the left field line. 2 away here in the Colonel ninth inning. Here's Jordan Renz trying to keep this ninth inning going. Jordan tonight is nothing for 3. He struggled in the second half, no doubt about it. We need Jordan to recapture that good swing of his. He does, as he lines one just over the head of the shortstop for a base hit. That's the first Colonel hit since the second inning. Ask and you shall receive. Jordan Renz just did hit a soft humpback liner over the outstretched glove of the shortstop Neil Walton. And that is the 5th hit for the Kernels, our first since the second inning. 2 on, 2 out for Stantrell Smith. 9-3 Southwest Michigan, bottom of the ninth inning. Breaking pitch, Stantrell tried to hold up. Did he go around? Yes, says Jason Alper, the base umpire. Alper is lodged between the mound and shortstop. And I think he made the right call. I think Stantrell certainly didn't mean to go around, but I think he might have. Stantrell Smith on the 0-1. Gets a high fastball and fouls it straight back. Whew! Stantrell was challenged by Jeff Camrath. And Stantrell Smith had a very healthy cut, but fouled it straight back. Can Stantrell keep the Colonel hopes alive here in the ninth inning? He grounds one to third, and a force out at third of the runner Trumbo, and that ends the game. That ends the game. A ground ball by Stantrell Smith to third. Cesar Suarez gathered it in, and Force stepped on third to force Mark Trumbo. So Southwest Michigan comes in, and they win the first game of this series 9-3, a big win for the Devil Rays. I really didn't expect the Kernels to come out flat and look this way tonight. We were just outplayed by the Southwest Michigan Ball Club, and you're going to have those kind of nights. We just didn't expect one this evening. In the ninth inning for the Kernels, no runs, one hit, our first since the second inning. There were no Devil Ray errors, and the Kernels left 2 men aboard. We stranded 5. Southwest Michigan wins the series opener 9-3. We'll be back with the totals, highlights, and more next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
Well, thank you. We are back at Veterans Memorial Stadium before the most boisterous and enthusiastic crowd of the spring and summer. We've had a wonderful, entertaining experience to share with you here tonight in the zone. Unfortunately, the only downer of the whole evening was a Southwest Michigan 9-3 win over the Kernels before a Bank of the West St. Luke's Blues Brothers fireworks crowd of 4,596. We'll give you the scoring recap to start things this evening. The Kernels scored a run in the bottom of the first inning off starter Wade Davis. Heinley Stacia walked. He was forced at second on a ground ball to shortstop by Larry Infante. Larry was at first base and running when Dallas Morris pelted a double down the left field line. I thought Infante would score for sure because he was running on the play, but a perfect relay from the left fielder Chris Cunningham to shortstop Neil Walton to Southwest Michigan's catcher Christian Lopez, and Larry Infante was out at the plate. Dallas Morris took third on the out at the plate. Mark Trumbo walked to make it first and third, 2 out in the first, and Brett Martinez, who's been swinging the bat well, lined a single into center to score Dallas Morris. It was Martinez's 28th RBI of the year, and it put the Kernels ahead 1-0 after 1 inning. In the second inning, the Devil Rays sent 10 men to the plate and scored 5 runs. A one-out single by Ryan Hughes got it all started. Then Christian Lopez was hit by an Andy Hill pitch. Colt Simmons singled into center to tie the game as Ryan Hughes scored from second. Christian Lopez stopped at second base. Chris Cunningham, the number 9 hitter, then lashed a single into left field. That made it 2-1 in favor of the Devil Rays. And then the biggest hit of the inning to make it 4-1, or check that, to make it the biggest hit of the inning to make it, 4-1 was Jason St. Clair's 2-run double down the left field line. Sinclair doubled home 2 runs, and that made it 4-1 Southwest Michigan. And the final run of the inning scored when Cesar Suarez's ground ball went underneath the glove of Larry Infante. That resulted in the final run of that nightmarish 5-run Devil Rays second inning. Unfortunately, the Kernels never recovered from that 5-run second inning. The Kernels did, though, bounce back with 2 runs in the bottom of the second inning to cut Southwest Michigan's 5-1 lead to 5-3. Stantrell Smith was hit by a pitch with 1 out. Madison Edwards then reached on an infield single. Heinle Stacia singled into right field to drive home Stantrell Smith and make it a 5-2 game. And then Larry Infante drove in a run with the ground ball out. He drove in Madison Edwards to make it a 2-run Kernel second inning. We'd cut the Devil Ray lead to 5-3. In the 7th inning, the Devil Rays scored without a hit. Andy Hill walked Jason St. Clair, and then a wild pickoff attempt by the Colonel right-hander put St. Clair at third with nobody out. Neil Walton flew to shallow center. Stantrell Smith came racing in, caught it, and then threw home to prevent Jason St. Clair from trying to score. With the infield in, Cesar Suarez hit a hard ball on the ground to the right side of the Colonel infield. Diving to his left was Larry Infante. He threw out the batter and kept St. Clair from scoring. J.T. Hall walked against lefty Mike Pete, and then J.T. Hall, running to second, trying to steal the base, induced Colonel catcher Madison Edwards to heave a peg into center field. A wild throw by Madison, the second Colonel error of the 7th inning, the 4th Colonel error of the game, and that allowed Jason St. Clair to trot home and make it a 6-3 game. The Devil Rays then put the game away when they scored 3 runs, only 1 earned in the 9th inning. Off of Colonel reliever Tim DeJurgis, Southwest Michigan iced the game with their 3-run 9th inning. The Colonels only had 1 hit after the 2nd inning, and it came from Jordan Renz with 2 out in the 9th, but the Colonel offense was hamstrung this evening by Wade Davis's 6 strong innings. The starter allowed only 3 runs on 4 hits in 6 innings. Jeff Camrath was even more impressive out of the Southwest Michigan bullpen. Camrath in 3 innings allowed no runs on only 1 hit. He walked 1, and he struck out 3. The Colonels struck out 11 times this evening in bowing to Southwest Michigan 9-3. The final line score for the Devil Rays, 9 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Southwest Michigan left 6 men aboard. The Colonels, 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors, and we stranded 5 runners. The winning pitcher for the Devil Rays was starter Wade Davis. He's 6-7. He's 2-0 against us this season. Andy Hill was the Colonel loser. Andy's record 3 wins, 5 losses. Jeff Camrath earned his first save of the season. The game only took 2 hours and 42 minutes, and a boisterous, robust crowd of 4,596 enjoyed the Blues Brothers, and they're now enjoying the Bank of the West fireworks show. This fireworks show from Bank of the West has dazzled our crowds earlier this summer, and we thank Bank of the West for being such a great, great local corporate citizen with the sponsorship of the fireworks. We'll be back in just a moment, and PRC will present our PRC Play of the Game here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, Giuseppe Valentino? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
The Bank of the West sponsored fireworks continue to light up the horizon above the 6-story high scoreboard here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Southwest Michigan Devil Rays dump the Kernels tonight 9-3 before a big crowd of 4,596. John Rogers, thanking you for being with us here on the Colonel Curtain Call. PRC is now proud to bring us the play of the game. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. PRC is the former Access Direct, and they have a benefit package that is out of this world. The benefit package at PRC is called Life Essentials, and it includes a 401k retirement savings plan, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, a flexible schedule, and a casual dress code. To learn more about a company with a great heart that cares about you, log on to PRC's website, www.prcnet.com. With Southwest Michigan leading the game in the third inning 5-3, the Devil Rays had a runner at first with one out. Colt Simmons was at the plate, and here's our PRC play of the game.
Really a perfect night for him, and we're swell. The runner goes, a bouncer short, Station hops it, steps on second, finally throws to first, an acrobatic, spectacular double play turned in by Heinley Station to end the Devil Rays' third inning. With Christian Lopez running, Colt Simmons grounded a two-hopper towards the base at second. Heinley Station cut to his left, fielded it with his glove hand, took 3 steps, stepped on second to force the runner Lopez, who was off on the pitch, and then Heinley whipped his throw to Mark Trumbo for an acrobatic, athletic 6-3 double play.
And we chose it as our PRC play of the game because it kept the Kernels right on the heels of the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. We went into the bottom of the third inning thanks to that terrific double play started by Heinley Station, down only by 2 runs. A 5-run Devil Rays second inning, though, was too much for the Kernels to overcome as Southwest Michigan trounces the Kernels here tonight in the series opener 9-3. That's our PRC play of the game. Stay tuned. Segment 3 of the Colonel Curtain Call is coming next. Our complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall, and listen, if you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and by Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Did you know that Honda has the highest fuel economy average of any automobile company in America? Randy Kill Honda in Cedar Rapids is proud of their Honda dealership, and for good reason. Just listen to this list of remarkable awards for Honda vehicles. The Ridgeline, voted the 2006 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The Honda Civic, voted 2006 Motor Trend Car of the Year. 2006 Car and Driver voted the Honda Pilot as the best large SUV and best overall value of the year. Add it to the Honda Odyssey, Car and Driver's best van for 2006. It's easy to see why Randy Kill Honda is the home of confidence and continues to offer the best value and lowest prices on your next new Honda. Check out the large selection of fuel-efficient pre-owned vehicles, too, online at randykill.com. Randy Kill Honda, where they treat you right.
A dazzling fireworks extravaganza continues to thrill and mesmerize a crowd of over 4,500. The fireworks show sponsored by Bank of the West. We had over 2,000 employees and their families from St. Luke's Hospital this evening, and the Blues Brothers were entertaining throughout the night. We had a great, great time here at the ballpark this evening. Southwest Michigan won the game 9-3, but that certainly won't take one bit of the joy and memories of a wonderful night away from this big crowd. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schubat, we can now bring you a complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard action from this afternoon. First, in the American League. At Yankee Stadium, the Yankees routed the White Sox 14-3. The Yankees drubbed the White Sox 14-3. This afternoon in 14 innings at Rogers Center, the Blue Jays outlasted the Mariners 7-6. Today at Camden Yards, the Orioles bounced the Rangers 8-1. And tonight in the National League at Comerica Park, a final, the Tigers shut out the Royals 6-0. That's a final from Comerica Park. Tonight at Fenway Park, the Red Sox shelled the Athletics 7-0. At the Metrodome this evening, the Twins turned back the Indians 6-2, and our parent club is playing at Angel Stadium in Anaheim, and in the bottom of the third inning, the Devil Rays lead our Angels, our parent club, 2-1. As the grand finale unfolds with the Bank of the West fireworks here this evening, we now move to action in the National League from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's begin where it was 110 degrees, Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And this afternoon in 10 innings, the Cardinals clipped the Dodgers 2-1. At Wrigley Field, the Cubs stomped the Mets today 9-2. This afternoon in San Francisco, the Phillies clobbered the Giants 14-6. And at Dolphin Stadium, the Astros dismantled the Marlins 12-0. At Dolphin Stadium, the Astros dismantled the Marlins 12-0. That was this afternoon. Tonight in the National League, at PNC Park, the Pirates trimmed the Nationals 7-6. At Chase Ballpark in Phoenix, they're in the top of the fourth inning, and the Diamondbacks lead the Brewers 5-0. And no score in the bottom of the third at Petco Park, the Braves and the Padres. That's the complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Here from Veterans Memorial Stadium, State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn, proud to bring you the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Kernels were hurt by a 5-run second inning tonight and never quite recovered from what turned out to be a knockout blow, and the Devil Rays win big 9-3. Southwest Michigan will take a 1-0 series lead into tomorrow afternoon's second game of this series. Please plan on meeting us at the stadium. It's well worth your while. The gates open at 1, and the Kernels will be signing autographs from 1:20 until 1:40. Popcorn's only $1 tomorrow afternoon, and after the game, thanks to Velocity Sports Performance, you can run the bases and play catch on the field. So a lot of great fun ahead tomorrow. Meet me at the stadium. We'd love to see you here. It's just past the top of the hour, just past 10 o'clock, and we conclude this broadcast from the ballpark reminding you that you've enjoyed it on ESPN Radio 1600 KCRG. That's where you'll catch us tomorrow on the Kernel Radio Network, 1:40 South Slope Communications Triple Play Showtime tomorrow afternoon for Game 2 of our 4-game series with Southwest Michigan. Tonight, the Kernels are 9-3 losers. That's it from the ballpark. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.